3 of AZCFL Game of the Week. I am Jesse Burke. Finally, alongside, got him in the booth finally, J.R. Warner, man. Welcome to the broadcast booth.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So, finally here, Saturday Night Lights, as we like to say, Game of the Week. We have two heavy hitters, the South Phoenix Running Rebels, 2-0, versus the Phoenix Phantoms, 1-1, coming in tonight's matchup. JR, as you know, well-versed in the CFL world, and these two teams having long-standing history. You know, obviously, we tend to talk about when the Phoenix teams, there tends to be the Phantoms and Outlaws, but there's a home-blown rivalry in itself between the Rebels and the Phantoms, and I'm excited to see it unfold tonight.
Yeah, I can't wait. These are two action-packed football teams, perennial powerhouses in Arizona. A lot of people talk about their offenses, but what I'm really looking forward to today is both these teams' defenses are second to none in the league. Both the front sevens look to get after it. I can't wait to see what happens today.
Yeah, as they meet at midfield for the coin toss, we got team captain Mike Macagnano Jr., linebacker, and I can't see whoever is on the other end, but it looks like Isaiah Love from the Rebels. So starting this game off, so the Rebels have one kickoff accepted to defer. Phantoms get the ball in the first half to start off this Week 3 Game of the Week. Definitely excited as, you know, the Phantoms, the first time they were under the lights, under the camera, they lost to the Lions on what was, you know, the kickoff weekend. So obviously now trying to exercise those demons and kind of right their wrongs as they're going into what is the attempt to break out of 500 and get back in the winning column.
Yeah, but we're talking about a program here that throughout the years, 1, 2, 3 losses during the regular season has never defined this football team. They've always been the type of football team that's going to stick around, going to be in the playoffs, going to battle it out into the end. So, yeah, they look to go to 2-1 today, and I look forward to seeing how they come out and respond after being 500 after 2 games.
Definitely. You know, I live for the dramatics and the journalistic styles. So obviously we got Daryl Dobbins, longtime Rebel, suiting up for the Phantoms in his first year. He's out there, number 50. Yep. So he's playing against his former team. You got Lorenz, who's a new quarterback to the Rebels, who definitely played the Phantoms before. He's beaten them in the playoffs. He's lost to them in the regular season, so he's excited to get out there. And then, of course, we have new coaching staff to the team. We got James Fisher and John Lickley, who were known for their time spent on the Lions, head coach and quarterbacks coach. So definitely some new faces, some familiar faces throughout the league, but new uniforms, and excited to get this game started.
Yeah, definitely.
The Rebels are set to kick. You know, the Phantoms definitely bounced back last week, putting up, I think, 47 points. So let's see if they come out firing on all cylinders or if they take it into the second half like we saw in the first week. High, good kick. Looks like it will be set to be returned as he runs up the middle. 24 cuts it up and is brought down right outside the 20, around the 19-yard line where the Phantoms will take over from quarterback Christian Sale.
Sure, that's not the special teams kick return they were looking forward to starting off with, starting just short of the 20-yard line there. Special teams, such a undervalued part of the football. But usually Phantoms are a really good special teams team. I'm sure the special teams coach disappointed there.
Yeah, I mean, you being a player in the CFL, having a different lens of football as a coach and having all different angles, the special teams, like you're saying, is something you live and die by, but it is kind of a dice roll when it comes to the CFL. You'll see some good kick returns up for 50 yards. You'll see touchbacks, and then, like you said, unpredictable moves there. But, you know, not the worst field position, so let's see what the Phantoms can come up with.
Yeah, looking like a trips right look here, 3-by-1. Trips to the short side of the field. Empty now, motioning to an empty set.
Bad snap as the quarterback has to just cover it. Dangerous play as they lost around 6 yards there. You know, JR, for the first half, I'd say, for last week's game and the game before, a lot of, you know, miscues, lack of discipline, guys kind of beating themselves up going in the wrong direction. So already with some bad miscues, bad communication, you got to imagine they want to get this right sooner than later.
I mean, not uncommon. We are still in the opening weeks of the football season, first 3 weeks or so. We're in the third week here. So it's not uncommon to have some mistakes as the season goes on. All the top teams will start cleaning it up a bit, but definitely an unfortunate circumstance here being, second and about 17 for the Phantom.
Yeah, back against the wall here. And like you were saying, the big spotlight are the defenses, so you don't want to give the Rebels an easy chance to eat early in this game on defense, so Phantoms definitely got to dig their way out. May come back down to the special teams play, but right now they're definitely in a hole.
Yeah, second and long, third and long situations are not situations that the Phantoms want to find themselves in tonight. Not against the secondary and the Rebels, led by Eddie Fluker. He averages about a pick 6 a game.
Handoff to fake handoff, has a man, throws it left. Good fake out. Was able to get to the open receiver. Yeah, I have heard Eddie Fluker, big name Fluke, big play Fluke. Yeah, definitely saw he had a pick 6 against the Bucks in his first week. And yeah, from what I've heard, the Rebels fly around the ball. I know last year Isaiah Love had 2 picks in the game against the Outlaws. So this defense definitely well known for sure.
Got a 2x2, kind of a snug set on the short side of the field. They look like they're going tight 2x2 look here.
Quarterback looks right, has trouble, evades the first sack, can avoid the second one, but rumbles his way to the third defender who finally brings him way down. Very shy of the sticks. It's going to bring up a third and forever.
See, and that's going to be a huge thing tonight is can this offensive line...
fourth down and forever.
Can this offensive line hold up against this Rebels front seven? Like I said, they're second to none, not just in Arizona, but I would say in the country. Very quick, very fast, very powerful front seven.
We saw firsthand in the Super Bowl what a defensive line can do to a quarterback and an offensive line. So pressure quick can, lead to bad plays, and so far it was negative yards for the Phantom in that drive. Good high kick. It's going to be short. Just trickles into Rebel territory.
Well, that ball touched the back of the leg of a Rebels guy. Dangerous play there.
Yeah, man. It's interesting to see when it gets in that touchy area. It kind of looks like players are just playing like bumper cars, trying to get somebody into the vicinity of the ball just because any percentage of it touches, it's a live ball again.
Yeah, most teams, they got a code word to get away from the ball. For most teams, it's Peter. Peter means get away from the ball. You heard a couple of the guys yelling it, but I guess it wasn't heard. They're all the way across on the other side of the field, so must have had a hard time hearing them there.
What's the history behind that?
I am actually not sure. Since Pop Warner days, it's always been Peter. I wonder why. I'm actually not sure.
Something we gotta get CFL live trivia on the bottom. What does Peter mean for get away from the ball? So first down now for the Rebels, led by QB Lorenz Steffen, well known throughout the league, depending on who you ask.
2x2 look for the Rebels. Looks like a 4-3 defense look for the Phantoms.
Nice completion. Defender there right when he caught the ball. It's a completed pass to number 13 on the Rebels.
Rebels are very talented at attacking with the hitch routes combinations. They like to get their guys out into space behind a zone defense. It looks like that's what they got there. It looks like a cover 2 look from the Phantom.
Yeah, the completion was by Tariq Smith Sr. So good catch there. I had Lorenz on my show Intel the first week of the season, and he was talking about he has endless weapons on offense, and he's looking forward to being able to just have that variety out there.
Yeah, the 2x2 look again. Good handoff.
The running back's going to be met quickly by the defense and is brought back for a gain of no yards, if anything, a loss of 1.
I think given that 2x2 look, that 4-3 defense seems to leave that receiver on the far side of the field uncovered, the slot receiver that is. Looking for the Rebels to kind of try to exploit that a bit with the uncovered slot receiver.
Handoff is to Ian Robinson Jr., well-known running back for the All-Star team last year, was able to get 3 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion in that All-Star game, was able to talk about it on the first season of Intel, an all-around good guy and good player for the league. As Lorenz gets it downfield to the open man, and that's 6. early for the Rebels. Had the man beat and got it exactly where it needed to be. Tyler Ross getting it past the defense into the end zone. And that's the early momentum Renz is going to want from his team, as getting a long ball is something that you'll hear him say the haters say he can't do. So you definitely know that he's excited to get that ball off early. So impressive pass, impressive play, touchdown, 6-0 early Rebels.
Yeah, really. He had a check down there on the swing route from their running back. Took a really nice ball to thread the needle there on a skinny post route. Real great ball by Renz.
Was there the defender almost jumps early. Kick is up, and it is good. So early 7-0. You know, obviously with the big play on offense, you tend to, give the credit from the quarterback to the receiver. Did you see anything on defense there? Was there any blown coverage, anything missed assignments, or just all around good ball?
It just looked like the safety. It looked like they had a cover 2 look, and the safety on the short side of the field was kind of late getting to the ball, which as a defensive coach would really make you go crazy, especially when you're supposed to have your feet on that short side hash there. You're supposed to be able to make a play on that post route, but good pitch, good catch. Sometimes ball placement beats good defense.
Yeah, they say you can't defend a perfect pass, so definitely great throw by Lorenz and great play by Ross to get behind the defender. And exciting as we have first points in the first quarter for the first time in AZCFL Game of the Week this season. Yeah. First 2 games were scoreless in the first quarters, so exciting and grateful to get early action here in this game with plenty of time left in the first quarter.
I'm interested to see how the Phantom respond here. I'm sure they didn't expect, especially with the type of defense they got, to give up 7 points so early in the football game here in the first quarter.
Yeah, especially when their first drive was kind of on lack of discipline. So they want to correct things on 2 ends here. Yeah. As the return is solid, he's running outside to the right, shakes the first guy, brings it down to around the 29-yard line, where the Phantoms will hopefully move in the correct direction this time, as they were hurting themselves, as that drive was laced with penalties. But as you guys know, short-lived memories here in football. Got to be alive for the next play.
Got to get over it quick. On to the next. Can't dwell on what's happened in the past.
Yeah, it's always business. It's never personal, right?
True. I look forward to seeing the Phantom getting the run game going here. They've got 2 good running backs over there. I look forward to seeing what they can do up front. And again, like I said, the key to this game for me is, can the Phantom's offensive line hold up against this front 7?
Yeah, I mean, they have their hands full with Big AD. He's definitely a surprise. I didn't know he was on the team until the first week of the season. I think he kind of surprised everyone. So definitely exciting to see an all-star defense versus an all-star running back. Quarterback dumps it, almost intercepted, threw it with some pressure in his face, and number 8 on the Rebels is upset that he was not able to come down with that one.
Again, we're seeing it over and over again already early in the game. First 2 possessions, quarterback's under duress, can't really get the blocking established up front. Rebel front 7 really wreaking havoc already early in the game.
Trying to get the rosters up. That was number 8 on the Rebels.
I believe that's Dwight.
I think Dwight is number 7.
Is he 7?
Yeah, defense end. Fake handoff. Incomplete to Marco. You got to imagine he was looking to run before he caught it. And you can't do that. You got to secure it before you're able to. You got to tuck it before you can tuck it and run. As that will bring up a 3rd down now. So again, shaky start for the Phantoms.
Yeah, Marco's the kind of guy who really prides himself on being able to make catches like that. Looks like he might have had a little bit of room to shake and get something more than just 2 or 3 yards. Might have been able to get 5 to 6, maybe more than that. I'm sure he'll be kicking himself for that one.
He joined me for the 2nd week of Intel, talking about his evolution from his hot-headed ways to his humble new beginnings, as Sale is met in the backfield by a defender and has to get it off quickly, and again is turning nothing into something humble at just that, and the offense looks to come off the field where the punting unit's coming back. So great defense by the Rebels, combined with shaky offense from the Phantoms, and right now this game's all Rebels early in this first.
Yeah, it looked like the pressure's starting to kind of get to the center a little bit with the high snap and then pressure off the edge. Phantom tried to set up a little bit of a screen play out to the left side. Great play call, just never really had a chance to develop.
Yeah, so number 8, by the way, was Darnell Marshall, who almost came up with the pick. So punt now by Alex Van Anrooy. High kick, but shallow, as it is going to be recovered or downed by the Phantoms right outside the 40. So the Rebels are blessed with amazing field position, momentum that they've already, continued.
Yep.
And looks like Lorenz's mouthpiece just fell out. So looks like he will have to go the rest of the game with that one.
He's worried about putting another 7 up on the board. Lorenz's mind, he's got them right where he wants them. Wants to go ahead and put another 7 points up. I'll look for them to come out and air it out again. Another 2x2 look.
The Rebels rocking the gray with the red trim and the red helmets. The Phantoms in their white on white, which I say, I'm a little biased, but I think the CFL's got the best uniforms out of all football. As a snap to throw, looks left, throws right, the ball hangs up there, and it is nearly intercepted. 42 had a day and a half to come down with that ball, and again, he looked upfield before he secured the ball, and granted a deflected pass, a dropped pick is a deflected pass, but nah, man, you gotta come down with those. Those are cupcake picks, as defensive coaches would call them.
Yes, definitely. Very, very easy pick, you would think, but sometimes I feel like that ball is lingering up there for an eternity.
Man, so frustrating. You gotta imagine Christian still wants that back, linebacker. Man, is there like a dollar sign in your head that's jumping off when you see like nothing but the end zone and a clear ball, then you just overthink it? Because that's what would happen to me.
Oh, yeah. They say the easy ones are the hardest.
Boom, as Renz tries to get it over the middle and he can't. Right behind, looks to be Isaiah Love there.
Interesting. Renz looked left through left there. Looked like he had a receiver on the far side of the field open on a corner route. Sure, the OC will look at that and get right back to that one.
No, sorry, that was Ross, number 0. Yeah, no, for sure. It's the idea of, like we were saying, we're having a short memory, forgetting about your shortcomings. So I think that has to happen with just the positivities, too. I mean, Renz can't ride the coattails of that first touchdown too long into the game.
Right. Got to stay hungry.
Exactly. Renz looks left. Throws it on his back foot. 2 defenders as the receiver kind of ran through the defense. Looking like to draw an offensive foul in basketball, if you will.
Yeah, it looked like Renz kind of rushed a little bit there. I'm sure the OC would have loved to see him step up in the pocket, set his feet, and deliver a little bit better of a ball. Kind of got caught fading off of his back foot towards the left.
As a defensive coach, I mean, Renz will not shy away from the feedback he gets, good or bad. A lot of people say that he tends to throw on his back foot instead of stepping right in the pocket. So somebody that can air it out 70 yards on the fly, imagine if he's able to step in the pocket and, really put it on a receiver.
Yeah, almost definitely.
So definitely, he was talking about, he's always perfecting his craft. So he'll high snap there and a punt. So this is a perfect down inside the 2-yard line. So great, great arm by Lorenz and great foot. So solid punt there, the pooch punt, if you will. Pinning the Phantoms, who haven't been doing much on offense, deep in their own territory. But again, still early in this game. Shouts to the Phantoms defense for getting off the field and getting their offense back on. So again, you got to imagine the Phantoms need to cross at least midfield to get some sort of momentum going.
Yeah, I mean, tends to be a familiar position that they put themselves in here this first little part of the game here. But I believe the Phantom will get it going here. Once again, offensive line's got to hold up.
As a rare flag early. One of the first flags we've seen this game. So
they might have had too many. So
illegal substitution. So unfortunately, they are continuing to move in the wrong direction. So they got to get some breathing room here, let alone positive yardage. Handoff here to AD. Good move.
Great run. Nothing special. Looked like a little lead play right there up the B gap. Create some separation. Big hole created by the offensive line. It's good to see.
Yeah, and it was a good patient run as he was able to, stutter step, cut to the right a little bit, and then, nickel and dime down the field, but still too close for comfort as they want to keep chipping away at this this hole here, but one play at a time as AD has not, AD's been in this before as another handoff to him is met by a gray wall of the Rebels, and they're going to drive him back. But he will not go down. That's one thing, man. AD does not go down easy.
I can tell you firsthand from a man who's tried to tackle with myself a few times. Definitely a load to bring down. If you go high, you might break a tackle. If you go low, you might get hurdled. It's just a jack of all trades when it comes to running the football. Really good once he gets his foot in the dirt and is able to get downhill.
Yeah, somebody that is top heavy, I imagine, when they try to make an arm tackle or something like that, you're only setting yourself up for failure.
Every time.
But third down now.
Got a pistol, double tight look.
Looks left, throws it.
Slant.
To number 3 of the Phantoms.
Yeah, the far side corner seems to be giving up that inside slant. He's one-on-one out there, mano-a-mano with the receiver, and it's kind of like he's like olaying him to the inside. That slant was a really great play call.
And enough for a first down, so this is exactly what the Phantoms needed to get back in this game and kind of avoid the couple first 3 and outs. And now they're, back to where, if it was a solid return, back to where they would start. But now first set of downs and some momentum here. Quarterback calls his own number and lowers a shoulder. Gotta love to see that, man. We, obviously quarterbacks get the favoritism. You can't touch them in practice. A lot of people, especially defensive-minded people, say that the rules are designed to favor the offensive players. So gotta love when a quarterback kind of puts himself out there in traffic.
Oh yeah, as defensive players, we love it too. We definitely want them passing the line of scrimmage, give us a chance at a strip or something of that sort, so we can get the ball and go the other way. Great job by him though on the inside zone reading that defensive end, pulling it and keeping it and getting to the outside.
I remember when Vic, back in the early 2000s, when he would do the 40, 50-yard scrambles, and they would treat it like it was a roughing the passer call, but 50 yards downfield, and the coaches were like, hey, man, if he's going to run like a running back, we got to be able to hit him too. You know?
Yeah, definitely. That's a big penalty there for the Rebels. Already got momentum going against them. Giving up a penalty like that now, another 15 yards for unsportsmanlike is tough.
Definitely rough. You never want to gift the other team a good field position, especially a team that is not, doesn't have it all clicked right now. They're not completely on the same page like the Rebels, but the Phantoms are the type of team where once they get it going, they are hard to stop. So you don't want to help them out and help them get in their own momentum.
Oh, definitely. Tons of talent, tons of playmakers.
So 3 minutes and 44 seconds left in the first quarter. We had a full slate of football today. The Tucson Thunder defeated the Bucks in overtime, 12-6. The Silverbacks continue their undefeated streak, putting the league on notice, letting them know they are here.
That's a dangerous football team.
The Silverbacks 36 to the Demons 0. The Reapers of Avondale quieted the Hawks 6-0. The Titans, congratulations to the Titans getting into the win column for the first of the year, 17-10. And I will get to those scores after this play. As what formation is this, JR?
This is like a pistol strong with the wing back.
Handoff up the middle, and it is not effective as the Rebels were all over that. And then my upset pick, if you listened in on my weekly podcast for the league, AZCFL Intel, I said my upset pick was the Headhunters this week, and they, lo and behold, won against the Owls 22-18. So congrats to the Headhunters on their first win. As the handoff to the running back this time is a little more successful as he's got one man to beat.
Great run.
And that defender saves 6 as he brings him down right outside the 25.
Absolutely phenomenal job by the left side of that offensive line. They're caving down, creating a way for him. Just like a little simple handoff, play side dive. And he turned that, what's supposed to be a 3-4 yard gain, into about 17, 20 yards.
Yeah, Damon Sparks on the run now. Let's see if they feed the beast again as he jukes to the first defender and then is brought down for a gain of around 3 yards. So the Phantoms are rolling now deep in Rebels territory after that big penalty they gave up. So JR, from what I'm noticing, is it's not the big plays that are giving the second lives. It's the lack of discipline in the penalties.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you give a team another chance, another sight of breath, and them thinking that they can get it done is always going to be dangerous for a defense, especially when it comes to a team like the Phantoms, who does have a lot of offensive firepower and the ability to score at any moment.
Definitely. And then also knowing that this team, like I said, they don't want this to be their identity, but they are more of a second half team. So you got to, stem on them early in this game as quarterback tries to keep it himself and is tripped up.
All right, 2-by-2 look there. I believe he just missed the handoff. Looked like a regular inside zone off to the right, which they would have been able to pick up about 3 or 4 yards. Pretty much exactly what he got from it.
So 2nd and a little over 8, I want to say, or no, actually, no, I'm sorry. 2nd and
7?
Yeah, around 2nd and 7, where little under 2 minutes in the first quarter. Last 2 games, I don't have the Outlaws and Scorpions score, but the Lions continuing their undefeated ways, beating the Spartans 20-13. That game came down to the wire. Has a low snap, fakes the handoff, throws it right to Marco, jukes the first tackle, and then is able to lower his shoulder to get some extra yardage. Dangerous throw, as he was definitely behind the line of scrimmage when they first threw it.
See, and that's what I mean, is that Marco's the kind of guy that anytime he can make a catch and be one-on-one with the defender in space, he has the ability to make a guy miss and get upfield, showing there.
So 4th down now. Handoff to number 6. He bounces it outside. He's going to be short. That's going to be a turnover on downs. So JR, gutsy call. They were rolling down the field, had momentum, but then on 4th and inches, they call a run play, and now they come off empty-handed. So do they not have faith in their kicker? Did they not like what they saw in warm-ups? I mean, what do you think?
I think at the time, if you got momentum on your side and you believe you can pick it up, I think you go for it. I think on that particular play on the inside zone to the left, it was actually there, and the running back decided to cut it back, looking for a cutback lane that was not there. So sometimes, players make mistakes, but I believe that was a good play call for the time, especially, you marched the ball down about 70 yards already. Give yourself a shot at a touchdown.
Well, that's why they play it, and I broadcast it, because if this was a video game, I'm doing special teams, field goal attempt, and I'm surviving to see another play, But, no, again, we live to see another play. It's early in this game, so I guess, you can afford to go for it when you're all within one score. As the wind starts to pick up here in Buckeye, Arizona. Definitely colder part of town. For those not familiar with Arizona, I know everyone thinks it's just Phoenix, but there's different places to Arizona, and this is a colder one at night. But, yeah, happy to be in the booth here.
A lot nicer in here than it is out there. I'm sure it's freezing.
All families that are here, blankets and jackets are welcome. The masks, I think the masks help. They warm you up now, part of the year,
Oh, yeah,
You can breathe into it and warm your face up.
Keeps your nose warm.
I don't know if there's a concession stand for hot cocoa and that type of stuff, but it's always nice.
It would be nice.
So, 1st down. Renz is grateful for, this turnover on downs. You got to imagine he wants to continue as the defense someone jumps early. Might have a free play. Pitches it to Ian, who is bamboozled by the Phantoms behind the line. But a flag down, so let's see who that was on. Someone did jump early, but I don't know if he was provoked or what the call was.
Great heads-up play by the center to snap the ball right when he believed that the guy jumped off sides.
So it was an offsides from the defense. So before the snap, the lineman, obviously, the center is the only one that can, the quarterback's the only one that can talk, right?
I mean, anyone can really talk. You really only want to hear the quarterback talking, or maybe the center making adjustments on the offensive line, or where everyone needs to block and where everyone needs to get to. But then after that, it should be all the quarterback speaking and saying what he's got to say.
Isn't there a penalty, though, for, like, simulating the snap count or something?
That's more of a defensive penalty if the defender is trying to bark it or help with the quarterback's cadence. Usually that's a penalty on them, not really an offensive thing.
Oh, I gotcha. Makes sense.
Second quarter, 7-0.
So as a lineman, you can't tell a defender, like, hey, you have a bug on you. And if they move, it's a false start or something?
I mean, I'm sure there's tricks of the trade. I'm sure a lot of guys try things like that,
Yeah.
But it's one of those things, if you're not caught, it's not blown.
Yeah, the ref, yeah, exactly. It's not illegal if you don't know and catches type thing.
Right.
I definitely fall. I consider myself an LA Fitness All-American. And when I'm playing hoops at the gym, you fall short of that. You're playing with strangers, and someone's like, oh, pass it to me. And then they're on the other team, and they just lay it up real quick. And you're like, all right, man, I met you 3 minutes ago. Cool.
Whole team's mad at you.
Yeah, come on. You should have known that. It's like, come on. But
he's like a pro.
Oh, it's a high snap. They got to cover it there. Good heads-up play to just get on top of it and not try to pick up with it and run with it. We saw that last week in the Tide game. Quarterback Jake Mortensen on 2 attempts. One time he was successful, was able to gather it and complete the pass, but then the second time he tried to do it and kept falling out of his hands and just kind of refumbling, if you will. So
bit of a hot potato game.
Yeah, exactly. So with this, they smart to just jump on it and survive to see another play, because these two teams, we noticed that if you gift them with penalties, they capitalize on it. So
see, as a coach, you're always saying fall on it. But when a guy picks it up and he actually makes a play, you praise him. So it's one of those things where you're like, you try to let players be themselves. But as a coach, you really always like to see a kid jump on top of the ball and secure it.
True.
This is more important than the highlight.
Hindsight's 20/20. So if he does run it up and score, you're like, good job. I wanted that to happen, but. So some confusion here as they're trying to get set.
Not sure what the holdup is.
Coach Love talking to the refs. We talk about the refs. You got to give it to them, man, because there's no there's no winning with them, right? There's always one side of the field that hates them or is upset with the call, right? So you got to stick to your guns and have a respect for the game and the rule book, and that's the reason we love this game too, is to uphold the integrity of it and the rules, and it's more special when it is.
Definitely, especially when you're in a situation where there is no instant replays. You never win the ref battle.
Yeah, can't control other people, right? As the pitch to the right, he's got room to run, cuts it up inside, and is brought down right outside the 20 by number 8.
Phantom defense really starting to swarm here to the football. Get there, make plays, wrap up. And, that's the risk you take when you give a team a little bit of momentum. Just that little bit of drive, although they fell short now, is giving this team a little bit of momentum. And looks like they might take the field advantage as well.
So with your years playing in the CFL, any guys on the Phantoms you've played against, any names that stick out that you definitely had great matchups with?
Man, Mike's out there. You already mentioned Daryl Dobbins, Renz. I feel like half of each team.
Touche.
Seeing them played against or played with.
As the handoff up the middle is sniffed out early by the Phantoms defense.
It was a great play by the defensive tackle there from the Phantom.
So you being from the East Coast, you played your high school ball in the East?
No, I played high school out here at
out here? Okay.
Yeah, I went to Mountain Ridge for 3 years and Went to Tolleson for the senior year. All my football's been here.
I got you. I was just going to say, because I don't know what it's like to play in the winter, man. I mean, it looks cold out here already.
I mean, it was cold late September, October. Yeah, man, it's a different type of cold here in Arizona, man. I mean, during the daytime you have 80 degrees, but then a 40-degree temperature drop at night that's what really gets you, the vast drop in temperatures.
Yeah, that's how I tell my people back home, man. Like, you're right, 50 degrees is not a big deal, 60 degrees. But when you go from 110 to 60 in 3 hours, like, yes, it is cold.
Freezing.
As another pooch punt by Renz. Nice punt, man.
Look for Marco to do something here, right here off the left side.
Telling his blockers to get in front.
Of him. Yep, he's going to try to make a play.
That definitely gave the special teams time to collapse on him, as he was frustrated with the return there. As a Rebels player kind of took his sweet time to get off of him. I'd be frustrated as well, but Marco's got to contain himself, as he knows these refs will call unsportsmanlike. We've seen targeting. We've seen players ejected, so he's got to contain himself.
Yeah, definitely got to contain the emotions. As we all know, football is a very emotional game, and it's usually the teams and players that are able to control those emotions, harness those emotions, and make it productive that are successful.
But he's a fast player, man. If he has time to stop mid-stride and tell somebody to get in front of him. So handoff to AD now to the left, and is brought outside right before the Powerade table.
Like an inside counter look, it looks like. By AD, was able to find some space in between that B and C gap and get up and make a play. It's still a very short game, though. Looked like he had a lot more room than what he ended up getting.
Still want to see him bust one out. I know he had a field day last week against the Demons, but under the lights, he wants to definitely get one of his primetime touchdowns in.
Yeah, it was going to be a tough task against this front seven by the Rebels. Like I said, very, very talented group of guys.
His fake handoff throw is low. Attempted receiver number 3 on the Phantoms.
Just here in this first half, it just seems like over and over and over again. Every time the quarterback drops back, Rebels has got somebody in his face. Somebody ready to take his head off. He's always throwing under duress, always running for his life. Got to figure out a way to seal that edge rusher.
So 3rd down now, as somebody took a timeout, I believe the Rebels.
Yeah, it looks like they were trying to get an extra guy off the field there, and kind of were forced to take a timeout before the Phantoms snapped the ball.
So Rebels took their timeout, as we're still in the first half of this ball game. Cactus Football League Game of the Week, Week 3, Phoenix Phantoms in their road white versus the South Phoenix Running Rebels in their gray and red. Those familiar with the league know that there was somewhat of a merger between the South Phoenix Running Rebels and the the Central Valley Sergeants. So it's the Central Valley South Phoenix Running Rebels. Out there tonight.
I guess that's what the running joke is.
And the Phoenix Phantoms. They like to be known not as the little brothers of the Outlaws. They like to be known as Phoenix Top Dog as well.
I mean, year in and year out, Rebels are always right in the thick of things. Always a team that you gotta make sure you have a solid game plan for. You gotta make sure that you show up ready to play.
Throw left is again not fooled by the defender, as they are flying to the ball.
Yeah, that's just a wide receiver screen with the left tackle supposed to get up there and get hands on the corner there, and sometimes the left tackles are just a little bit slow in getting hands on those little fast corners, and that looks like that's what happened there. He just wasn't able to get to the right spot and get hands on the corner.
So, as you have a defensive mind and things, with a corner or a safety, what's the confidence factor with a safety, knowing if you have a shutdown corner, you don't have to apply as much pressure, or vice versa, as the punt is snagged off the side of the foot and hesitantly returned by not much. I think that was fluker number 1.
Yeah, to answer your question, though, any safety who can be given a shutdown corner on his team and a chance not to have to look to one side of the field and you just know it's going to be covered, taken care of, that's a safety's dream. You only got to read one half of the field, makes life a little bit easier for you, and because you don't got to worry about one whole half. A lockdown corner is so valuable, as well as a good safety, but a lockdown corner is so valuable for a safety. When you just know you don't have to even look to your left or look to your right, wherever he's located, you know it's taken care of.
Definitely. I know, you hear those things about cornerbacks being overrated because they have a better safety or vice versa. There was, what's it called, that went back to Richard Sherman. A lot of people said because he had Cam Chancellor over the top. He was able to kind of go for broke on plays, knowing that if he got beat, he had 6'3" Cam behind him or 6'2" Cam behind him. Or even Earl Thomas, who's a baller of a safety.
Yeah.
That whole secondary is crazy.
I mean, it's a great for a corner. It's a great luxury having a safety as well. For corners, especially good corners, they like to gamble because you gamble and you guess right. It's usually a pick. So anytime you can take a gamble or you can risk and you got help over the top, regardless, it makes your life a lot easier playing corner.
Definitely. That's not to be biased, but that's my favorite position in football. It's cornerback, safety. I think a pick six is the coolest highlight. Rest in peace, the great Stuart Scott used to say, "Hater in the house," whenever there's a pick six. So.
Oh yeah. Corner. They say the corners don't get a lot of love, especially when it comes to 50-50 balls or 50-50 calls. So anytime you see a corner able to make a play and turn it into a pick six or a play in general, you can't help but to root for those guys, as a lot of those plays don't go in their favor.
There's another flag, or another 3 flags thrown. Yeah, help me. Is it confirm or deny this myth? A cornerback is a receiver that can't catch.
That's a tough one. So, we make fun of guys in practice that are playing corner, and they drop a pick or whatever. We go, hey, we see why you're playing corner, but I've seen some corners who can get it done on the offensive side of the ball too. They're just lanky, they're rangy, really talented guys playing corner.
As another high snap, the dangerous play as Phantoms brought the carrier down for a loss of almost 20.
Yeah. But you consider corners are more so just athletes. So some of them have bricks for hands. Some of them can catch with the best of them. You never know.
Well, I say that also going back to Richard Sherman, he was a standout receiver in college, and then ended up being a shutdown corner, which works to your advantage because you see the routes from both ends, right?
Yeah, definitely. And you can kind of tell that based on his ability to play the deep ball. I mean, a lot of guys say that he's a cover 3 corner, but a lot of that goes to the fact that he can play the ball at its highest point deep down the field, second to nobody in the league. And for years now, he's been getting the job done like that. So that just seems to be his trade.
Another flag is thrown. I don't know if this is delay of game.
Maybe too many on the field.
Right, the Phantoms are clapping because they'll take the easy point or the easy yardage.
Yep. Too many on the field.
So that's a unique situation because one could argue technically the play wasn't started, so you should be able to get off the field, but I guess you can't have 12 in the huddle at all.
Yeah, you can't break the huddle with 12 men. That's the universal rule of football. So anytime you do, that's always going to be a flag.
Whose job is it to count?
You always give those kind of penalties to the coaching staff.
Okay. As somebody jumps early. Renz might have a free play. He's scrambling, rolling out right, throws it over the middle, complete to number 12, who's still alive.
I believe that's Guy.
And brings it out to the 30-yard line. So great way to capitalize on that free play. And if it's in their favor, they will be deep out of their own territory where they were. Yes, catch complete to Guy Brown.
And Guy, perennially one of the best receivers in the AZCFL. Great hands, great footwork, great speed. Also one of the best route runners. Very underrated route runner in our league.
Having a couple different receivers on for Intel. It's really good to hear their different perspectives and different styles. We had Marco, who's the big ball receiver. I've had Dominic Johnson, who's a slot guy. In the most recent episode, Isaiah Clark, same slot receiver grittier guy. They ended up getting the victory today, so shouts to them. I don't know if it's just the luck, but everybody I have on Intel, the next week they win, so shouts to them on that.
Now you're going to be having guys fighting for spots.
Yeah, I know. Man, it's the luck of the Irish, only I'm not Irish, so you figure it out.
Got 3rd and long. What's about 3rd and about, 14?
Yeah, about 3rd and 13, 3rd and 15 as Renz looks, throws it over the middle, has a man wide open, is number 19, brought down by his own accord there. That is number 19 of the Rebels, Antoine Clark.
That was a great job by Antoine finding a nice hole in the zone and settling his feet down. And great job by Renz keeping his head downfield under a little bit of pressure and getting the ball down to him in the pocket. Great job.
And Renz, he's working on his ability to stay in the pocket and not collapse and scramble. That's something that he hears often, is that he's afraid to step in the pocket. He's afraid to stay and trust his line. You could see hesitantly kind of looked out. He's like, nah, I got this. And he stood in the pocket and got it over the middle. So great mental stability and great play.
I'll tell you firsthand, the guy's gotten a chance to coordinate against him. That's kind of what we say. We want to keep his feet moving, keep him rattled.
As handoff now is ineffective as he breaks the first two and is not able to avoid the rest of the white brick wall that was in front of him. That is the Phantoms defense. So 2nd and long now. Plenty of time in this first half.
I mean, you take away 2 of those passes over the middle there, given up there by the secondary. The front 7 from the Phantoms has really played really well. Haven't given up much in the run game at all versus the Rebels. So you just need to tighten up the secondary a little bit, and they'll be okay.
So your years playing, what was your position?
I played strong safety for most of my career.
Nice.
Safety and outside backer.
I won a couple of Turkey Bowl championships as a cornerback myself.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love the Turkey Bowl.
Every year. Except for last year, of course.
Phantom bringing pressure right up the middle.
Rebel has a man incomplete as nothing stopped him except I think when he turned around to try and come down with it, he may have just lost tracking of it, I don't know, in the lights or what, but was not able to come down with it. Good attempt, good ball. Some good ball placement by Renz tonight. Definitely throwing more from the pocket opposed to, like you're saying, on the run where he's known for.
Yeah, it looks like the Phantom were actually trying to get him to get out the pocket and roll out and make a throw running, sending pressure right up the middle by the middle linebacker there. He almost got there, but great pickup by the center.
I was asking Renz, what did he think about Tom Brady, 43? He said, I'm playing into my 40s for sure. Yeah. With that being said, Brady just signed a 4-year extension, so he's going to be 47 by the time the contract's over.
I don't put anything past Tom Brady. I just don't. I don't think he could play at 50.
Low snap, tipped. And, JR, like you're saying, the front 7 of the Phantoms keep bringing pressure. They can get some hands on the ball that could lead to a dangerous pick or, turnover from the Phantoms. So, eventually, that pressure can and will cause that line to break and eventually lead to some mistakes.
Yeah, which is why you keep sending it. I mean, that's your game plan. If your game plan is to send pressure and make the quarterback roll out, put him in uncomfortable situations, you got to keep doing it. But on the back end, the secondary's just got to hold up. Secondary's got to hold up, defend for the few seconds that they're being asked to defend, just so your front 7 can get there and be able to make a play. And so far, front 7's doing their job. It looks like the secondary's holding up just in key moments of the game so far.
Still a low-scoring game for what we thought this first half, but as we see, most of the action exists in the second half as another pooch punt as caught over the shoulder will be returned by number 24. Has some room on the left.
There he goes.
Got some more room. Needs some blockers. Gets the block.
He's out of there.
He's got nothing but the end zone in front of him. If he can shake 0, he will be in for 6. He will score. What a touchdown by the Phantoms. What a punt return. Amazing setup to catch that over the shoulder. Switch field, or reverse field, and gun it all the way up for 6. So I don't know if that was a defensive special teams collapse stubborn run as he would not be denied. But all in all, we have 1 point away from being a tie game. So, man, I did not see that coming as he caught that over the shoulder, nearly ran, horizontal to the sideline. And then, as you said, he had a couple blockers in front, and there was enough to get him where he needed to be. And we have ourselves a new ball game. The extra point attempt underway. The kick is good, and we have a tie game now. JR did not see the Phantoms tying this game up on a special teams attempt, but so be it, man. That's why we do Game of the Week, because you can't predict what will happen.
And that goes right back to what we were talking about. There's 3 phases to football: offense, defense, and special teams. Early they started off with a lackluster kick return that put them on the 19-yard line.
Right.
That punt return was special. It's always dangerous for a punting team when the ball gets too far to the left, too far to the right, and doesn't go out of bounds. Sometimes your kickoff or your punt team gets out of their running lanes, and that looks like that's what happened there. And the Phantom were able to create a wall opposite to where the ball was kicked, and the kick returner found it.
Gotta give props to number 24, Jaden Smith. He's actually a JUCO transfer from Canada.
Oh, wow.
Definitely one of his teams. I think the league broke down or whatever, COVID related, so he came out here, and now he's doing big things for the CFL. So shouts to 24, Jaden, making a name for himself in the league.
Yeah, what a great story.
So he was able to catch him the first game. Nobody threw to his side of the ball, his side of the field. So, obviously as a defender, you live for those moments, but from a visible standpoint, nobody really knows who you are because not much action's going there, right? So his uniform stayed clean, so to speak.
He didn't get a chance to show what he can do, but he just got a chance to today, or tonight, I should say.
As the kick. Oh, as the Rebels picked it up and was rocked by the Phantoms, number 31.
Dangerous play there. A lot of times you don't want that ball to bounce, especially on those kickoffs or a pooch punt, or you really want someone to get under it, fair catch it, or catch it and grab a knee. The ball's so unpredictable, once it touches the turf, it can bounce any direction.
It's definitely it's the heat of the moment type thing when you see a player either puts his hand up for a fair catch, or he might be waving it off like he's not touching the ball, like he's telling his defenders, like, yo, I'm not going to down it or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then you see the opposite where somebody fair catches it and the ref doesn't call it, and then they try to, get away with a couple yards, and they're like, nah, man, nobody ran for a reason. There's a handoff here up the middle.
Yeah, there goes that Phantom front seven again, really getting after it now, not letting anything happen. Great linebacker play. D-line is doing a great job in gap responsibility, not letting anything outside of them, and linebackers are coming downhill filling.
And eventually it's just a matter of time of the Phantoms offense waking up. Their special teams is getting it done. Their defense is getting it done. So, as we said, these teams tend to wake up in the second half, but 2 out of the 3 sides of the ball are kind of stepping up. So, the Rebels got to get back on the board here as the game is leaning towards the Phantoms, as the run is – there's a flag on the play here. So,
a really big hit. Looks like the Rebels are set on this pro right look and trying to get something out of the run game to the outside. Just not happening. Foot speed of the Phantom seems to be too much.
So a reminder today, we had some surprising games, some surprising upsets as the call was on the Phantoms. So late hit at number 90. Unfortunately, it's going to be a first down and great field position for the Rebels. But this is what we asked for here, Game of the Week. Back and forth matchup. Definitely 2 big name squads. The Rebels, probably the number 1 in rankings right now. And then the Phantoms, 1-1, but always there towards the end. So exciting action early in this game. got to imagine Renz wants to get something going here.
Really important 4 minutes left in this half. Phantoms can't afford to give the Rebels any more momentum.
As a handoff to Ian as he runs to the left, and the Phantoms are there every time. The run game is not too effective right now. Ren's got to look to the wristband and see what kind of pass plays he can go to.
Yeah, the Phantom are just doing a great job of just plugging up their gaps up front, and the linebackers are doing a great job getting downhill. It looks like the front four for the Phantom, like no one's trying to play hero ball. Everyone's just staying in their lane, doing what they got to do to create a cutback so the linebackers can show up and fill. Doing a really great job up front.
So from a defensive stand, obviously the play calling is way different, but is there like a form of like, don't break it, don't fix what's not broken? So is it like it continues, the pass is connected and just at the sticks? Let's see if he can get enough for a first. They're going to call it just shy. And from where the ref is standing, it should be a first down.
Yeah, first down.
But they're coming out for a measurement. But yeah, I mean, I guess from a defensive-minded coach, is there like a same play mindset? If you can predict what's happening in this this short drive, like I guess what I'm trying to say is like same play until you see them do something else, or is it sticking to your play calling regard or?
It just depends. I mean, if you wanted me to kind of try to put my head in maybe the Phantoms DC's mindset at the point, I would stick to what I got and talk to my secondary a little bit and just ask them to kind of hold up because the front seven's getting pressure. But coming into the game, Phantom already had a game plan based off of what the Rebels run. If they get a certain look, they want to run set. If they get another look, they want to run a different set. And I think as a coach, you want to stick with that maybe until halftime, and then you can start making your adjustments from there. Because you want the guys to be able to continue to play fast, continue to play to the ball, and continue to play without thinking.
For sure. I just see that so far it looks like they have a match for each other, and the only thing that is busting out the big plays, like I said, are these penalties. So if they can get that at least honed in, then we're in store for a matchup or some exciting second half. As Renz is scrambling around, that throws it down the field. Dangerous pass as there's two white jerseys back there. Was able to get the ball somewhat in the receiver's vicinity, but kind of gave the defense the time to adjust and be where the ball had to be. But second down now. Another flag on the field, so let's see what they call.
That is a real killer.
Oh, wow, an unsportsmanlike towards an ejection. One more and he'll get that. But again, we were saying that you can't gift these teams, and unfortunately, I don't know if we spoke too soon earlier in the first quarter as we didn't see that many flags. The second quarter has been a laundry day, so to speak, with flags everywhere. But let's see if they can correct these.
See, as a coach, I mean, you really hate to see the momentum start to shift this much when it really didn't have to. Phantom kind of had the momentum going. Rebels got some early penalties late in the first quarter, and Phantom got a big kick return early in the second. And then ever since the Rebels have gotten the ball back now, they're marching down, and a lot of it's self-inflicted by the Phantoms. I'm sure that they can't be happy with this.
Yeah, and I believe the Phantoms will – I'm sorry, the Rebels get the ball in the second half too. So,
yeah,
they if they can score here and then get the ball back in the second half, they're setting themselves up for success. What do you see? So going into the second half, what do you see? I'm sorry, going to halftime. What do you think? What adjustments do you think the Phantoms have to make on offense, and then on defense, what adjustments do you think the Rebels have to make?
Offensively for the Phantom, I believe they're just starting to kind of get it going. Late in that first quarter, you were able to see them start to kind of establish the run game a bit, start to kind of dink and dunk to the outside. For them, I think it comes down to just finishing drives from this point going forward. Defensively, I think they should just stay after it, keep doing what they're doing. As you can see, they're making plays. They're making great plays in the backfield. So keep doing what you're doing defensively. Offensively, we just starting to settle down, starting to play our game. Let's make sure that we win the line of scrimmage battle is what I would be telling my offense if I was a Phantoms coach. As far as the Rebels go, Phantoms are starting to really get in there with their front seven. Maybe I'd open up the screen game a little bit with the running back screens, maybe some wide receiver screens to get some guys out in space. They're having a hard time running the football. They got to figure out another way.
As Renz throws it, nearly intercepted, as the players are signaling to the ref that he did come down with it, and the ref's going to take his word for it as it's an interception by the Phantoms. So unfortunately, we do not have instant replay capability here at the CFL. They go by either the sales pitch by the defender, and by all means, there was no other officials there to discuss it, so they took their word for it. Great defensive play by the Phantoms. Underthrown ball by Renz led to the Phantoms getting back on this field with a minute left. So gonna want to see this play on field. Gonna check the broadcast after the game and see, in fact, did that ball hit the ground? Did it not? According to the refs and the Phantoms, it didn't. So turnover.
Yeah, definitely hard to see from up here, but big turnover play, big momentum shift for the Phantom. With 59 seconds left, they got a chance to make something shake here.
And there's a flag on the field and it looks like the refs are calling it on the Rebels. I hope it's not from talking too much. That's something you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot about.
Yeah, that's just another conversation I'd have too on both sides, Phantoms and Rebels. Is let's win this penalty battle.
As one of the coaches has to be held back on the sideline, as
oh my goodness,
he is not happy with the communication between him and the referee, I imagine. But here in the AZCFL, we're family friendly, we're sportsman-like friendly. Sideline warning by the Rebels bench, so.
See, and they just gave up 30 yards off penalties right there. That's 30 yards with 59 seconds, no time move.
Against the team that now has momentum on their side from just, taking the ball away from you guys.
Yep.
So, we've been saying it. You're playing a good team. You can't gift them and, stack the refs on as well. So.
Corner's giving up a lot of cushion here on the outside. I'd look for a deep hitch or a comeback to the outside from either wideout.
But definitely excited, or definitely interested to see that play. That ball hit the ground. What was but they were convinced, and I don't see why not. So, but again, short memories. You can't live on things that happened then. You got to worry about the next play. So the refs are still discussing something. They're trying to get the ball set. Minute left in this first half. Again, this is week 3 of the AZCFL Game of the Week. Some teams tonight that went down in the winner's circle. We got the Thunder, Silverbacks, Reapers, Titans, Headhunters, Lions, and don't have the score of the Outlaws, Scorpions. So don't know quite yet. But some exciting matchups today, some shutouts, some upsets, all being capped off by this heavyweight Game of the Week night matchup. Friday Night Lights, or Saturday Night Lights, Saturday Night Fights, if you will. It's the Rebels against the Phantoms.
As a player, I've always had a problem with the term upset. I mean, we game plan. We come to a game with a certain mindset. We're just as capable. We're men. I've always had an issue with that. Whether I've been on one side of a win or the other side of the loss, upset. I've never liked that. Never liked that term.
Yeah, no, it doesn't really apply to other life things. Like, what if somebody cooks for you and you expected it to be bad, but it was good? You're like, wow, what an upset. So.
I have no idea why that was so funny.
I don't know, man. It's a gift I have. But, so first down now. Quarterback looks left and has a defender right where he was thinking about throwing it. The defender said, nuh-uh, not today. I have to get this sack. Thank you for understanding. And now a second down as the clock will continue to roll. And, man, back and forth between the bickering between the refs and the players, back and forth between the choppiness, back and forth between the field position. They're going forward, backwards, and the ball on the ground.
See, and that's
and with that, the Rebels are going to get right back in phantom field position. That was Dwight, defensive end for the Rebels. As someone from the Phantom is slow to get it up, that looks like to be the quarterback. He was blindsided, and that ball came out like Sonic's rings when he gets hit.
See, and the Phantoms have kind of been flirting with that happening the whole first half. That edge rusher's been getting there all half long, and these last two plays where he's able to pin his ears back and go, he's been able to make a play. They got to figure out a way to adjust the protection a bit.
And now the irony that is, if that wasn't an interception, then that means they wouldn't have fumbled here in that position. Right. So Ed Love's kind of like, hey, man, that was then.
Yes.
We good now. We good. So the Rebels are back with the ball. Little less time, but.
Yeah, 23 seconds. I believe they have a couple timeouts still, too.
Yeah, and, we saw Renz punt the ball, so maybe he'll get in for field goal range, too.
Look for a shot here to the wideout here on the right side.
Looks right, throws it. Has a man in double coverage, and that's a dangerous pass as that was intercepted. There is a flag down, so that might be coming back. But for now, he's running it up the sideline, and he gets brought down by his own wind as I think he may have physically jumped that route, causing a pass interference.
Yeah, kind of predictable in sense of a 2-by-1. So you put your one receiver on the far side of the field with the most green grass. So it looked like they were hopefully expecting a one-on-one on the outside. They didn't get that. They had a man-to-man with a safety over the top.
So with something like that, when the safety is able to pick up the man coming, I guess making a break on the ball, does he not pick up does he? Yep, pass interference. Oh wait.
Oh, they call it pass interference, huh?
So defensive pass interference.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Tough call.
Just like we said. So now I was saying is if the safety does get where the ball is, does that mean that it's the linebacker for the other receivers, or does he let the linebackers pick up or is the safeties to pick up the last guy, I guess? How is he available? How is he free like that?
So it looks like right there they had a man underneath with two safeties over the top, or perhaps a quarters look. It's kind of hard to tell pre-tell because they had two safeties high. So usually that's what you're going to get, quarters, cover 4 or cover 2. So in a cover 4 look, that safety who's playing a deep quarter, he can kind of roam the field and kind of read the quarterback's eyes and just make plays based off of where the quarterback's looking and where he's going to throw because he knows he's got help on the other side of the field.
I gotcha. Whereas if it was something more congested and he was, farther up on the line,
right,
then it's more the anticipated run play or something like
right.
that? Okay.
So, yeah, usually if you see one safety high, you bring another safety down into the box for a little bit more run support. In this situation, though, with a few seconds left, you should see a two safety high look, give a cover 2 or a quarters look. Cover 2, obviously, you're susceptible to some plays over the middle of the field, but if you believe that you're going to get some fade routes and some things like that, you might want to go with that look. And then quarters if you believe that you're going to get a throw over the field.
Definitely. Now with 10 seconds left, you got to imagine they take maybe 1 or 2 shots at the end zone. We haven't seen the field. We've seen extra point attempts. We haven't seen the field goal unit out here. But,
10 seconds. They got enough tries for maybe 2 shots.
Yep. If Renz doesn't do too much dancing, he needs to step in there and just throw the thing. But let's see.
Look for the matchup here with the wideout here on the left side.
As a timeout called. So they got, looks like Marco coming in. They might have him play defense. You see that in the Hail Mary situation. A receiver go back there and kind of just bring it down, but in a short field situation, maybe they're thinking like a corner.
Well, anytime you got athletes that you can put out there who can make plays on the ball while it's in the air, that's pretty much what you're looking at in this situation. With 10 seconds left, they're going to take a shot to the end zone. You want to try to put athletes back there who can either grab the pick, bat it down, or basically just be able to make a play on the ball while in the air.
Yeah, you put your best players on the field for sure.
Or your leaper, so to speak. Somebody with a vertical.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I remember back in the Patriots, they had Troy Brown, the receiver. He ended up playing cornerback and safety towards that tail end because they had, I think Ty Law was hurt or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Look for maybe a skinny post here over the middle, trying to get just inside of the safety from that slot.
Renz looks left, throws it.
Got to get outside.
And he's going to stay in bounds with only one. And there goes the clock. So unless he was able to get a timeout called, which I don't think he was able to.
He was either. Yeah, it looks like that's halftime.
And it looks like the refs are going to signal halftime as there are some players lingering on the field, obviously, but let's see what the refs call. And with that being said, just that end of the first half. So action-packed second quarter as the first half was a little slower. I mean, the Rebels did score, but 7-7, action-packed night, some lack of discipline, a lot of penalties early in this game, some turnovers, but all in all, what do you see going into the second half?
I see two teams that are going to clean up a lot. That's what I see. A lot of penalties, some miscues here and there, but like I said, it's early in the season. You kind of expect that sort of thing to happen early in the season. But look for both of these two teams to come out the second half with a better game plan, a better mindset, and attack the other team.
Definitely. And as we enter the halftime here, we're going to take a quick break and stay tuned for the halftime show between League Commissioner Matt Archer and his special guest, as JR and me, Jesse, will be back for the second half of AZCFL Game of the Week. to the second half of AZCFL Game of the Week. Phoenix Phantoms versus the South Phoenix Running Rebels. Tie game here, 7-7. I'm Jesse Burke alongside J.R. Warner as we are underway to bring you the second half of this low score but high intensity matchup.
Yeah, I look for the Rebels to come out in the second half here and really try to establish the run game, really try to dominate the trenches right from the get-go. Hopefully they had a nice long talk and get out here and get it done.
Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the halftime show, and we're excited to be here for the second half as, like you were saying, the Phantoms were applying the pressure and Rebels as well on the line. So let's see if they continue the momentum as the kick is underway. Line drive kick will be received as he cuts it to the right. Brings the defender with him as there's a flag.
Looks like a face mask. They look like number 3 got to hold a much more than just a jersey on that play.
So, good return might be even better with the added yardage here.
Oh, yeah.
So obviously there's different rows in the special teams. Like, is there a different name for each row? Because if you will, that was the third row, not the traditional returner.
Right. I mean, for each special teams coach, there's usually different lingo, different terminology. Usually, row 1 from the outside, you usually count left to right, like row 1, L1, R1, so on and so forth. On the kickoff, that's how they usually do it. They count from outside in, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then the kicker. And on the return side, similar thing.
Definitely, because I imagine they try to keep, the farther you go back, the better the hands. They try to kick it to get out of or in the position of a weaker ball carrier to, jar something loose.
A lot of times when they're doing those pooch kicks or they're trying to get a kick into a gap or an area that they see on the field, a lot of times there's something on film that they may have seen, a space in the special teams that they're trying to exploit.
True. As Renz now looks left, throws it, has a man, but is met by a defender.
See, and even right from the beginning, you can kind of see the defensive adjustment that the Phantoms have made. They're doing a good job splitting the difference now on the number 2 receivers in the 2x2 set, trying to take away a little bit of space, a little bit of green grass that they were giving up before in the first half of the game.
Nice play by number 7 of the Phantoms. I want to thank everybody that's tuning in. Game of the Week live on Facebook and Twitch. Finally able to get the stream up, so thank you for those been patient with us and been dedicated fans and members of the AZCFL. Without you guys, we couldn't make this possible. As quarterback looks left, throws it, almost complete to number 12, was not able to bring it out, but even then I think he would have been out of bounds.
They didn't really seem to be much open there. It looks like every receiver was pretty much accounted for, only sending 3 receivers out in the routes.
So, third down now. Should be a third down.
Phantom secondary already tightening up as opposed to how they ended the first half, kind of giving up some dink and dunks over the middle. They're kind of playing a little bit tighter on the receivers, trying not to give them as much space as they did the first half.
Yeah, and for those just tuning in, one of these scores is off a special teams play. So very humble performance so far by both squads, but let's see if they can turn it up here as Renz bounces outside the pocket, rolls right, has nobody open, starts to backpedal, throws it now. Dangerous pass as there was nothing but white jerseys near that ball. So 4th down now, 4th and long. So we'll see if Renz brings out the punt, the pooch punt, or if they just send out the actual punting unit.
Very good job there by the Phantom secondary, staying attached once Renz broke the pocket. A lot of times, secondary guys, corners, safeties, so on, get antsy when they see the quarterback break the pocket, but they all stayed home, stayed disciplined. So now they get a chance to get the ball on offense.
Yeah. Closest guy to that ball was cornerback number 20, Aaron Fairley. So good defensive start for the Phantoms. Sloppy offensive for the Rebels, but still tie game early in the second half.
Really dangerous spot here for the Rebels, though. Punting on their own 30, giving these two speedy returners for the Phantom the chance to do something here with this ball.
It was a high kick, and that will go out of bounds.
So bad kick.
He kept it out of the hands of Jaden Smith this time as he brought it all the way back to the house with him for 6. So this time, giving the Phantoms a good starting field position, pretty much in Rebel territory. Or no, definitely in Rebel territory, right around the 36.
Yeah, OCs love to get started in the opponent's territory. So it took about 60 yards out of the equation when you don't got to travel in your own territory to begin a possession.
Yeah, often when you hear football fields, they always say 100 yards. It's like it's not always 100. It depends on where the ball is, right? The length is 100 yards, but the yards you need to earn is sometimes half that. As the handoff up the middle, snuffed out. As there's some arm jabbing after the whistle. Got to be careful because the refs only call what they see, the retaliation. They never see the instigator.
Heavy backfield there with 3 backs in the backfield along with the quarterback. Trying to play a little bit of power football. Looked like a dive straight ahead for Dixon.
So now you got Marco one-on-one with number 20 on the Rebels. Who is... So number 23 on the Rebels is Lorenz. I believe last year was Darren Alderman. So I think the running back could be Darren, number 2. Not fairly sure. I know Ian wore 17. As the high snap. And, man, a couple bad snaps by these centers. Couple dangerous plays from the quarterbacks having to recover the ball and just, capture it, not do too much with it, but a little bit of second half early jitters, if you will.
All right. I mean, sometimes football games are just sloppy. Sometimes there's no way you can avoid it. Sometimes it's coaches. You prepare your guys and you tell your guys, hold on to the ball, don't be sloppy, don't make mistakes. Sometimes you get onto a football game and it's just sloppy, but you got a whole half to play. You got to knuckle down and take away some of the mistakes, and whichever one of these teams can do it first will be the one that pulls ahead.
Christian Sale, quarterback's definitely taking a beating today, but still staying strong in the pocket as he throws it. Dangerous pass, almost intercepted by number 8, but then almost number 10 came down with it off the deflection, but good pass with pressure in his face, but looks like they're coming off the field, so the special teams unit will come out, and the Rebels defense held their own after what looked like a great starting situation for the Phantoms.
Again, another situation where the Rebels defensive line got to pin their ears back and get after it with a 3rd and long situation. Phantom, they've got to stay out of 3rd and long, 2nd and long situations, which they keep finding themselves in repeatedly over and over and over again. That just favors the Rebels. Their speed on the edges, they're getting right in the quarterback's face every time.
So let's see if we get a good punt here. Nice high kick. It's going to take a Phantoms bounce, and that's going to go deep into the Rebels territory. So right around the 9-8 yard line. Solid punt by the Phantoms and solid positioning. But with that being said, there's a flag on the field, so hold your horses and let's see what the call is. Now, keep in mind, they're far away from the sticks, but any personal foul is going to be an automatic first down. They called something like that. That's the last thing the Rebels could afford right now.
Yeah, some of the Phantoms guys seem to be pointing at the Rebels saying it's against them, so we'll see what the referees determine.
They're coming off the field going back to when they sold that interception. Maybe they're trying to sell the idea that hey, no, that was on them. We're coming off the field.
Yeah. And it looks like they're 2 for 2.
Oh, okay. So at the end of the kick, though.
Right.
So
still Rebels ball.
Still Rebels ball, but just farther back.
Yeah.
So Rebels starting deep in their own territory. And we're kind of starting off this second half kind of right where we left off in the first.
Yeah, just sloppy play a little bit on both ends. Each team having the ball one time already, not really able to get anything really going. So once again, Rebels should try to come out here, establish a bit of a run game, see if this offensive line can be a force.
You got Mark on the sideline talking to his team. You got to imagine he wants something big. Needs a big play to get the momentum going, but let's see what the Rebels offense can do here. Handoff up the middle, trying to get some room. Sneaks it outside for about 5 yards.
Getting good play call. Something between the tackles there. Looked like a little inside zone run. Offensive line did a great job picking up blocks on the inside against the defensive tackle. Looked like they got three technique and a one technique and a 40 front up front.
There's another handoff. Phantoms are there. Stopped by number 2, Isaac Johnson Jr. Big body on the line.
The Phantom all night long. It looks like there'll be a gap there in a run play, but they close the gap so quick. They're just so fast off of their blocks to come downhill and make plays. It's got to be frustrating for the offensive coordinator of the Rebels because the holes are there, but they're just closing extremely fast for them.
There has to be, I know from a running back standpoint, you look for the gaps, you read the blocks, hit the gaps, something like that. But when you're a patient runner and then you don't see a lane open, like what goes on in your head? Like, are you just thinking like, oh, arcade mode, I'm bouncing it outside? Or
at least what we try to, at least for me, what I try to teach some of the kids I coach when they're running the football is don't get out of character. Always be you.
As the pitch to the left may be enough to get the first down. Bulldozing his way past the sticks, and just that, first down. So, again, on my roster sheet, I have 2 for Ian Robinson Jr. I'm being told sometime in the comments that it's Darren Alderman. So, it's one of the 2. You tell me. But either way, good play. And first down for the Rebels.
Yeah, and like I said, as a running back, you always want to, if you're a patient type of running back, you always want to stay within yourself. Never get outside of your out of where you feel comfortable. So if you're a patient runner, you're downhill, continue to be patient, continue to be downhill. Something's going to spring. At least that's what you keep telling your boys if you're coaching them.
There's another handoff sniffed out early by the Phantoms, bringing up a second down. Yeah, I just remember, back in the early arcade, game day 98s and, NFL blitzes and stuff, you think, why doesn't they just run around the line? Why are you running into the whole, that's the guys that are on the other team. Why would you run into them? But as you mature and you get to understand the sports, that's what they're designed to do, right?
Right, yeah. I mean, if you got a right tackle and he's one-on-one with the defensive end on the outside, running inside zone versus outside zone is very important. You can't take a inside zone handoff to the outside. You won't have very much success.
As Renz is brought down by the defender for the sack. Thought he could get something off but could not shake him. Great play by the defender to not let him out of his grasp and bring Renz down for now what will be a 3rd and forever.
Yeah, same way the Rebels front seven's been getting after it, defensive linemen getting after it, Phantoms as well. Like I said, these 2 teams that's why I highlighted their defenses to start this game, have 2 of the best front sevens, second to none in this state. And they are showing it tonight.
Renz looks right now, rolls right, throws it complete. Good pass, good catch. You could really see he was able to get all 10 fingers on there, control the ball before he turned it upfield. Good play by number 19.
Yeah, I mean, great pitch, great catch. Cloud coverage there played by the Phantoms, just giving up everything right in front of the sticks, knowing that it's 3rd and long. So kind of like a baited pass there, so to speak. They wanted that pass to happen, float to the ball, wrap up, they punt, we get the ball back and get to make something happen. So great job by the Phantom getting off the field defensively. Good pitch and catch though by the Rebels as well.
Yeah, 4th down now. So Phantoms doing what they need to do, and now obviously want to get back and see what they can do in this quiet but fast 3rd quarter.
Again, similar to territory that they're in from their last punt here. You got 2 speedsters back there who can make some things happen. Got to cover here and stay in your lanes.
Low snap. The punter had to get it off the side of his foot. Now he's got to pick it up and run with it. This is going to be a disaster as he is met quick by the defender who got up and touched the ref by celebration. Got to be careful with that one. Meets coach up for one of those chest bumps, if you will. And, man.
If there's ever a hit that kicker is going to feel in the morning, that's the hit. He just took a shot.
It always brings me to the Pro Bowl with Sean Taylor when he knocks out that punter.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, hey, man, you guys are football players, too. You guys put on your pads just like the rest of them. So
He took off running like he wanted to get the first down.
Hey, man, I think it's a sign of respect. You treat every football player like, somebody able to get hit. So,
Yeah, you got pads on, you're hittable.
no participation trophies, you know what I'm saying? No handouts out here. So, good heads-up play, but dangerous field position now for the Phantoms, who are hungry for something. As a handoff, not too effective, going to be brought down.
Another zone play. One thing I would like to see from both of these coaches, maybe a little bit more misdirection. Everything seems so cut and dry, straight downhill running. Very few powers, very few counters. I'd like to see very few motions. I'd like to see a little bit more mixing up.
So we've seen, we've seen the fade ball just not in the right field position. Let's see. The handoff now is ineffective, but I want to see some corner shots. Marco is known to get to the back of the end zone.
Yeah.
He can come down within double coverage. I say take a couple shots at the end zone, but right now, 3rd and long, keeping it on the ground.
I mean, that just might be what they're setting up for, too. I mean, you run on 1st down, run on 2nd down. 3rd down, you got a 3rd and long situation, take your shot. Obviously, you were anticipating a little bit more yardage here on 1st and 2nd down on the run game. Didn't get that. You definitely probably got to air it out here or maybe some type of screen play. But, yeah, you got Marco one-on-one here. You got one safety high. I'd take a shot.
I actually haven't seen AD out and, playing receiver too, so it'd be dope to see him line up as the pass is dangerously thrown behind the receiver. Going to bring up a 4th down. And it looks like they're bringing out the field goal unit. So first field goal attempt tonight so far. We don't know if it'll be a fake or some trickery, but so far it looks like it will be field goal attempt.
QB may have looked a little wrong way on that last one. Looked like he had the receiver backside completely wide open. Maybe a chance to score.
So this will be around a 36-yard field goal. Ball is placed at the 19, so add around 17 yards to that, getting you the proper yardage.
Special teams blocking has been an issue all day in the league, so hopefully we can see a good snap and catch here.
Low snap, good hold, and the kick is blocked. You can run this back, but at this point, he just covers it with no return. So now, good drive by the Phantoms. Some sloppy play calling. Good play calling, some sloppy execution, but blocked blocked field goal, and now the Rebels are back with the ball deep in their own territory again.
Right.
So Phantoms are doing their thing on defense, but the offense just can't get it together.
Yeah, this game is actually shaping up to possibly end up being a game that's determined by a defense. Who can create a fumble? Who can create a pick six? Who can make something happen? Put the offense in a very short yardage situation. Both offenses seem to be struggling as much talent as both teams have.
For sure. There was some, like we said, surprise games tonight as unsportsmanlike conduct. As the last thing you want to do is gift these players. We've been saying it all night. You can't give them field position.
Yeah.
You can't leave it in the refs' hands, especially when it's a tie game right now. So they got to get it disciplined and get their emotions in check. As the pass is batted at the line by Mike Macagnano Jr.
Mike's still getting it done out there, huh? Incredible.
He won't take old head, but he says seasoned vet. He's cool with seasoned vet. Shouts to him. He was a guest on my podcast, the Intel, AZCFL Intel. He was talking about last year's team was a whole different team from this year, and they didn't even hit their stride. So he says, we have a whole new team to look forward to, and you got to imagine he wants to, get back in the winners bracket.
Yeah, Mike's always been a winner. Every team he's been on has been a winning team. It's just a matter of getting to that championship, trying to get a dub. Great guy, great human. Referees kids on the spare time.
There's a handoff to number 2, tripped up around the line.
Just a great man, Mike is.
Yeah, it was cool hearing his input on refereeing as he, referees at the high school level and middle school. Having some sort of that, like, extra lens we talk about with football.
Oh, yeah. I coach youth ball, and Mike's been out there coaching, refereeing a few of our youth games, and I get a chance to get to know Mike away from playing against him all the time. I mean, Mike's been around a long time. When I came into the league, he was playing. I've retired and moved on. He's still playing, and he's still playing at a very high level. It's amazing to watch.
Sure, one of the bigger names when it comes to linebacker cores.
Oh, yeah.
As Renz looks right, throws it just out of the reach by number 19. Looked like if laid out for it, if he was able to possibly get it in stride, he'd be there. But just kind of a couple steps behind, and then Renz threw it a little outside of his reach.
Well, it's a good route by 19. Looked like the ball just got away from Renz a little bit there. What I would have really liked to see is a phantom defender not get beat pre-snap. He wasn't aligned correctly. When you're not aligned correctly, you're already out of the play. Guy ran an out route. He was nowhere to be found.
So 4th down now. Intended receivers Antoine Clark. Little under 2 minutes left in this third quarter as it's flying by. Third quarters tend to be the fastest ones. I don't know if it's the excitement, the anticipation of going into the fourth, but it's where all the prop bets go down in the Super Bowl.
Another punting situation. Dangerous returner in the backfield.
The Phantom are pointing at the refs trying to get something here. The ref's holding the flag. They haven't thrown it yet. At what point do the players have to just play, though? Because eventually if you spend so much time trying to call a call, aren't you guilty of committing a penalty?
Yeah. You try to tell them, like I said, football's an emotional sport. So when you're putting your all into it, you don't want anyone to be given an unfair advantage. So it's hard to get a player to, pipe down when he thinks someone's getting an unfair advantage.
No false start. So the Phantom's sales pitch didn't work that time. They got it the first 2 times. This time around, they said, come on, man. Third time's not a charm here.
Not at all.
So 4th down now. Let's see the pooch punt. As just gets it off. And this will trickle out of bounds. Or no, actually stay alive in bounds. Takes a Rebels bounce right outside the 22. So the Phantoms will take up shop, and there's some chippiness here on the other side of the field.
I mean, you take away that touchdown pass by Renz early in the first quarter, he almost punted for more yards than he's thrown for.
Like I said, he's getting them leg yards in, man. So goes on the stat sheet regardless.
That's true.
Remind you guys, this game is being played at Yonker High School in Buckeye, Arizona. A couple of different locations for the games throughout the valley. Cortez High School, Sunny Slope, and here at Yonker. Capping off what was a day full of football. The Outlaws and Scorpions still don't have a score for them, but Lions took care of the Spartans 20-13. The Headhunters came out with their first win, 22-18. The Titans as well got on the winning board, 17-10. Reapers 6, Hawks 0 as the handoff up the middle for like 2-3 yards. And then the Silverbacks, man, I think that's the story of the CFL. Newest team to the league and undefeated, putting up big points, 36 to the Demons 0 today. And then the Thunder winning in overtime to the Bucks. So some, I don't want to say upsets, but like some unpredicted stories written tonight, I guess, is the way we're gonna go.
Well, if you ever get a chance to watch the Silverbacks, I got a chance to kind of just look at some film and familiarize myself with a few of the teams out here. That's a really good football team. They're going to be right in the thick of things. Offensively, they're very dynamic. They mix it up a lot. They give you a lot of misdirection offense, and their defense flies. They get after it. They get to the football. They're gonna surprise a lot of teams this year.
And where are they? They're the GFL or the AZFL?
I think they came over from the GFL. If I remember
I
correctly.
definitely heard the name before and seen the highlights and stuff, but who knew they would come out like this?
Yeah, offensive coordinator over there really knows what he's doing. Got a really good quarterback. I think they're gonna shock a few teams for sure.
And with that, the 4 fingers are up in the air to symbolize the fourth quarter is here at the AZCFL Game of the Week. The Phantoms 7, Rebels 7. He is JR, I'm Jesse. This is Game of the Week, and proud to bring it to you. Exciting matchup, and as we know, it's never over until it's over, and we have ourselves a brand new game here in the fourth quarter.
If I'm the Phantoms here, I want to be real careful here. If I decide to run the football, got to pick up good yards here. Don't want to be in a 3rd and long situation against this secondary. This is around that time that when we were playing, we called it fluker time. Can't throw it in his direction.
You know, they call them fluke for short. Obviously, in football, they say fluke is something that wasn't meant to happen, whatever. So, you know, ironically, rewriting that narrative, when he makes a big play, it's not a fluke. It is fluke, though. Phantoms coming off, and the punting unit is coming on, and the Rebels are able to get their defense off the field. So, you know, it may not be on the scoreboard, but structurally sound, they're getting what they need to do between the lines.
Yeah, tie ball game, but I feel like the Rebels defense have really put a stamp on this football game.
Good punt to Fluke as he's going to return it. Now cuts it upfield.
Has
a lane in the middle.
He's got room.
He's got to hit the gas pedal one more, and he can't as he is brought down at the 35-yard line. So good lane. That, you know, looked like a straight lane up the middle, but then was not able to evade the last tackler and brought down. But great field position for the Rebels now. So Renz wants to get back in the end zone, the Renz zone, if you will, and wants to add to the scores. It's been nothing but, you know, 3 and outs and back and forth exchanging field position.
I mean, just looking at the game so far and how things have gone right now, if I'm the Rebels offensive coordinator, I want to try to create some kind of rollout situations for Renz, help him get to the outside edge, help him be able to see the field, down the field a little bit better. I mean, he wants to get out the pocket. Let's help him do that by rolling the pocket for him.
And obviously, you know, the offensive line doesn't get as much love as receivers and quarterbacks and the big play guys, but they're doing their job, right? They're getting enough space, so Lorenz just has to let that thing go as he throws it nowhere. This might be intentional grounding, as there is some miscommunication.
I'm not sure if it was so much miscommunication or the receiver got jammed all the way out of bounds. It looked like the receiver had a hard time getting off the jam.
And the refs didn't call anything, so Renz got away with that one.
Within 5 yards, it's fair game.
True. As long as he's within the pocket, yep.
Right. Got a trips right, look to the wide side, look for him to hand it off. Interesting.
Very patient run as he waits for something to happen and nothing does. So 3rd and long now.
There goes Mike in there wreaking havoc again.
On the intel pod, he was telling me he gets game jitters. He doesn't like to eat before the game. He said he'll have a protein bar in the morning and then maybe just a sandwich throughout the day. But
you'll be surprised how many macho men out here got weak stomachs, I tell you.
What was your game day meal?
Actually, I was also one that wouldn't eat before a game.
Okay.
I do Gatorades and maybe a protein bar, but
gotcha.
when it came to eating a meal, I couldn't do it.
All right.
I felt it made me sluggish.
I respect that. The post game, you eat like a king, though, right?
Oh yeah. At the time, this was all before COVID, but at the time I'd look for the nearest buffet every time. Chinese buffet.
That's awesome. False start by number 12.
See, and we've been ripping both sides apart a little bit for the penalties, right? But sometimes the opposite team is the ones creating that penalty. I mean, the Phantoms' ability to get pressure right now kind of would make any offensive line antsy. Just got to try to settle down right here and get to where you got to get to as an offensive lineman.
Yeah, I definitely, being able to talk with the players throughout the league and having my experience outside the CFL, working with college guys and some guys that went on to the pros, they're saying, nobody's going to want you to succeed in this sport besides your teammates, right? So when you line up with somebody else as a flag is thrown, hopefully it's not a And with that unsportsmanlike conduct, last thing you want to do, we've been saying this all night, we're on repeat, but continue to gift the other team with yardage, regardless of who has the ball. It's not going to help you out. But, yeah, no, I mean, just that, man. It's just the refs have a job to enforce the rules, and if you break it, there's a lot of egos out here. The refs have egos too, man. You're not going to tell him, like, that he's going to do his job or whatever it is. So, you can't control you can only control what you can control, and that's your emotions, right?
Yep. Famous coaching lines: control the controllables. That's what you can control. Handle what you can handle. Put everything else in someone else's hands.
Ren's now looking right. Gets the ball off. Dangerous chest pass. And
Mike again.
Mike Macchiano is laying in the boom as that brings up a fourth and Flagstaff, if you will.
Let it be known to all you young guys out there that want to have a long time in semi-pro football. Take a good look at number 15 out here, getting it done. You didn't hear his name much in the first couple quarters because us old heads like to conserve our energy for the third and fourth quarter. And as you can see, he is getting it done along with the rest of the Phantoms defense now.
Because you guys don't eat anything throughout the day. You have no energy, man. So let's see if this punt, they got to keep it out of the hands of Jaden Smith again. Or last time he busted it out for that miraculous kick return or punt return for a touchdown. So got to imagine they're keeping it away from him.
Ren's making an adjustment, seeing a bit of an overload.
As another punt by Renz. He's definitely cracked 100 yards punting tonight.
So they had a chance to get up underneath that ball, make a catch, and take off. Can't let that ball bounce there. Got lucky with it bouncing sideways versus towards their end zone.
Yeah, so it will not be returned by Jaden Smith, no relation to Will. So we've entered the single-digit mark here on the fourth quarter of the AZCFL Game of the Week. Phoenix Phantoms 7, Rebels 7, 9:50 to go in the game. J.R. Warner, Jesse Burke here in the booth. Some football earlier in the day. The Thunder squeaked out in overtime. The Silverbacks continue their primal ways, 36-0. The Reapers took care of the Hawks, which the Hawks have yet to score in the last two games as they were on the losing end of the Game of the Week last week to the Tide, who are on the bye this week. The Titans got their first win of the year against the Tigers. Two teams I've yet to see, newer teams in the CFL. The Headhunters, my upset pick, 22-18 over the Owls, and the Lions continuing their 2019 championship campaign, undefeated 3-0. First-time head coach Siobhan Davis, shouts to him, continuing where they left off. And then the Outlaws and Scorpions, I'll get you a score. I don't have that quite yet. I believe the Outlaws were up at half last I saw. As a handoff.
Looked like a trap up the middle there. About 3 or 4 yards, but just piggybacking off you, that Lions team, I don't know what it is about them, but they always seem to find a way to get it done. Just this week in and week out, they grind. They don't get out to the fastest starts a lot of time, but man, they finish the game strong. Every single game, every single week.
As AD dances, they shake the first tackler. Yeah, I mean, I got to catch up with Phantoms' former quarterback, Trey Grant. He's now with the Spartans. And, he had an injured hand today. I think it was his throwing hand. He came up with 4 interceptions, and 3 of them, he said, they're on him, but he just couldn't believe that it went out of his hand like that. He had every intention of where it needed to be, but just the injury to his hand, just not being able to grasp the ball fully. But they have a bye week next week, so he's going to be able to rest up and get things right.
Yeah, even just watching the game, it just felt like the Lions were able to just run the football at will, it felt like. I mean, anytime they put the ball on the ground, it felt like something positive was happening for them. So that was good to see for the Lions. Hopefully the Spartans can bounce back next week.
This quarterback looks over the middle and has enough for a first down, though. So moving the chains, moving the clock. Good play by the Phantoms.
And that little area right there, just behind the linebacker, just in front of the safety, seems to be an area that would be that's been open all night long. Once that quarterback has time, he just hasn't had time to get downfield to see the throw downfield.
Yeah, I'd say the farthest throw we've seen tonight had to be probably that Ren's touchdown, right?
Yeah, Ren's touchdown was like about, I believe, about 35 yarder. Real good pitch and catch.
There's a handoff to Dixon.
See, and
It shakes the first defender, and then he's bulldozed by the next two.
see, they're lining up in this 2x2 stack, and you got one corner out there defending two guys, but they're not making that pitch catch on the screenplay to the receiver who's behind the other receiver on the line. They got a stack situation there. They got what they're looking for, but they're not making the throw.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. That's the design behind it, is when a receiver lines up directly behind another one, is one to block and one to catch, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, or either that, or you're trying to create kind of pre-levels, kind of create levels to your route running before it begins. But a lot of times you'll see that set up there for a quick little screenplay to the outside, especially when you got a 2-on-1 situation. What you're looking for possibly as a quarterback there, you want to see how far that linebacker splits. If he's too close to the line of scrimmage, you want to go ahead and make that dump out there. There's just a ton of room over here on that right side for that pass to happen, 1-on-1.
There's a handoff.
They're doing a great job blocking against 8 in the box, though. There's 8 guys in the box, and they're getting it done.
Yeah, then also that another penalty gifted them past the mid half field, so now they're deep into Rebels territory, and this score has been the same since going into the half. So, not much action on the board, but definitely on the floor.
Dangerous times here, though. Under 7 minutes left in the game. Phantom marching down. Rebels got to look to get a stop here. Look to settle down and do what's been working.
As a dangerous snap now is behind the quarterback. We've seen that far too many times tonight.
That's what's been working.
And number 14 on the Rebels claims he has it, but I think the quarterback was down. So you gain 15, give it back 15, right?
That's what it looks like.
They don't want to win easy, it looks like. These teams like to make it come down to the wire, and maybe they do it for, the camera, and maybe they do it for the excitement, They give us a spectacle here on Game of the Week.
I think it's a little bit of all of that. A lot of semi-pro football is full with a lot of guys who, trying to relive the glory days, so to speak, right? So maybe it's a little bit of that, a little bit of theatrics.
For sure. Maybe we play long enough as the ball is out. And we don't know if he was throwing or if that's going to be out of his hands. It looks like it's going to be, let's see what the call is. And it's going to be
fumble.
Rebel ball.
He's only had a chance to drop back and throw the ball one time in this game. He was able to complete the pass downfield.
So gotta love the lack of technology because the strength of the call. Because college level pros, they're gonna look to the replay and see. But that was a fumble, man.
Yeah, he definitely took a shot there on the windup. But again, we got to figure out a way to solve that edge rush. They just can't get a body on the guy coming free on the outside. Seems to be coming from the weak side every time.
Well, I imagine it's like a lose-lose because if that quarterback just goes down and they're like, "Why'd you go down?" He's like, "I didn't want to fumble it."
Right.
So damned if you do, damned if you don't type thing. So first down now. Looks left, complete to 0. Breaks it through the defenders and then runs it up for around the 39-yard line further into Phantom territory. So winding down here in this fourth quarter, Phantom's defense looks like they've been on the field the entire fourth quarter, man.
Yeah.
It's been all Rebels, but again, the scores does not indicate that.
Yeah, that's a good bubble screen. Good play call to the outside, trying to get an athlete one-on-one out in space. Did a real good job there. Was able to pick up about 8 yards.
Handoff up the middle now. Not effective as they haven't called anything. But right in front of the ref. Little
I mean,
chippiness.
Well, sometimes as a defensive player, you just want to let a guy know you're there. Hey,
That's
I'm
fine.
here. I just want you to see me and know that I'm around. Sometimes you just got to, touch him, make sure he knows that you were there.
I'll be here until the game's over type thing,
Exactly.
So we're getting down into the last couple minutes of this game. Temperatures are dropping here at Buckeye, Arizona. Handoff up the middle, past the defense.
That's a first down.
Good grinding to get the yardage needed to get the chain gang going. First down. Running Rebels.
One thing I like to point out here, there's been a little bit of chippiness in this game, but as you can see, now as we're getting down towards the end of the game, and bodies are flying everywhere on both sides. Guys are helping each other up, getting each other a pat on the helmet. There's a lot of respect between these two teams. A lot of guys know each other on both sides of the field. In competition, there's words said, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of respect between each other out here for these men.
I'll ask after this play, but the stop and go, man, it has to be cold out there for these guys. I'd be running in place between the whistles.
Oh, yeah, free play.
As Renz
Take
looks left, throws it, takes the shot, and incomplete. Did not able to come down with it. Even if he did, I don't think he would have a foot down. As the free play looks like it's going to be on the Phantoms anyway.
He definitely feels like he could have had that one. I think he might have been able to maybe get that right foot in bounds there. But great attempt, great play. Better play by the corner.
So first down now regardless. Renz loves those free plays, but now with a little over 3 minutes to go, the Rebels can control this clock and just, if they can put it in the end zone, control this game.
And that would be my mindset now with 3 minutes and under 3 minutes and counting going on right now. I'm looking to make this the last possession of the game.
And I think the Phantoms have 2 timeouts left, but the scoreboard shows 3. I think they used one earlier in the third. As the handoff now.
Great play.
Not good by the running back,
Mike
though,
again.
as he is brought down quickly.
Man, every team needs a veteran that can make plays in key moments. Mike's already come through 3 times already here in the fourth quarter on key downs and key plays.
Trying to see what running back that was. I think that was number 4. Tyler Molesky of the Rebels. So 2:42 left in this game. Arizona Cactus Football League game of the week. Phoenix Phantoms versus the South Phoenix Running Rebels. J.R. Warner, Jesse Burke here in the booth, Buckeye, Arizona. As we are in one of 2 seasons here in Arizona. There's summer, and then summer is coming. We're currently in summer is coming.
Yeah, definitely. Once again, I keep anticipating a rollout of some sort, getting Renz out of the pocket so he can make a play down, a throw downfield. But
so let's see now.
He's got one-on-one here on the short side of the field. Safety on the far side of the field, playing the field side.
Fans are getting loud here. Somebody jumped. He's gonna have a free play, or he's not. Yeah. Every ref threw their whistle or threw their flag. So now, yeah, like you said, somebody on the offense made a mistake now. So false start on the Rebels.
I mean, yeah, early in the season or not, this is a very important game for both teams. I mean, games where 2 powerhouse teams play against each other can determine seeding. So both of these guys are starting to feel the need to try to pull this win out, which makes sense for some of the false start calls.
Yeah, then also I don't know how much of a factor with the standings, but point differential, points scored against, points scored.
Yep.
And not to bring it to fruition, but 2 minutes, 31 seconds away from overtime, and here in the AZCFL, they play NCAA rules, so each team will get a possession on the 25. But long time away from that as the Rebels hand it off up the middle.
It's a good power play.
3rd down and long, very shy of the sticks, and this may bring us into the 2-minute warning.
Good power play, pulling the weak side guard. Guard to end, trying to get a little off tackle.
So when we saw the Rebels coming into this game, number 1 seed, putting up, I think, almost 60 points, 33 last week or 38 last week and 14 the first week. And now definitely quieting things down as the microscope has been on them, and they, all eyes are on them. So
Right.
pressure is on, but, they still can come out of this game not high scoring, but a win's a win. So
Yeah, a win's a win, and at the end of the day, you got to put everything in perspective. The Phantoms, year in and year out, do have one of the best defenses in the league. They're just one of those teams that going into the game, it's going to be a tough defensive football game. 30 points weren't going to be had tonight. So
yeah.
you take what you get. They got a chance here to win the game with 2 minutes left, and that's all you can ask for.
And, that being said, the Phantoms, can make a stop here, and they have all-star running back, and they have, plays on the other end. So who knows? 2 minutes left.
3rd and long.
Plenty of football, as we like to say, with 2 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. So got to be
3rd and long. Phantom showing one safety high. They've been running this one safety high look here this whole second half, but I'm not sure that's a smart decision here.
Quarterback looks right, throws it. Dangerous pass as Jaden had eyes all over it.
Actually, I see what they did. That was a great job. Great disguise coverage. At the last second, they had a safety bail out to create 3 deep.
So now 4th down. One of those too close for comforts, too close to punt, too far for a field goal. What do? Do we send Lorenz out there for a pooch punt, try and get it in the corner? The clock is continuing to run, so let's see how much time they can shut off this clock before they have to punt it.
I mean, I would, if it were me, I'd give it. Lorenz has been punting well all day long. I'd pooch punt it. I'd try to coffin corner it, put them in a situation where they got to make a snap on their own 5-yard line. They've had bad luck with the snaps tonight. I'd play based off of the history shown tonight versus thinking I can get it done with my offense.
Yeah, you got to stick with what's been working tonight, and like you were saying, the first 2 weeks of the offense is not the type of offense we're seeing tonight, as somebody's calling a timeout, trying to freeze the punter, if you will. Or no, delay a game. They probably want to give him more breathing room.
Yeah, sometimes you take a penalty like this to give yourself a little bit more room to make a good punt. That knocks him back about 5 more yards, which can give him a good room for a good coffin kick here.
Do you remember that mini game in Madden, like the early 2000s, where you'd punt it, and then depending on how close you got to the corner, you got different points?
Yeah, it had like colors.
Yeah,
yellow, red. Yeah,
nobody could see me in that, bro. I'm telling you, I was an all-star punter in Madden.
Those are kind of tough when you played it on all Madden, man.
Yeah, for sure. Or like the running back drills where it's just like the 2 linebackers.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I guess it was their version of the Oklahoma drill.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So 1:08 left in this game. Thank everybody that tuned in on the live stream, came out to Younger High School to be part of this crowd. Thank you to the production team making this production possible. Shouts to Matt Archer, league commissioner, making the league possible. Ooh, 146. They're having a good time. They want to add more time to the game. Say less.
Yeah, they just let a little bit too much time run off that last.
It's like that,
last play.
the Buffalo Wild Wings commercial. We're going to overtime. Somebody made a call.
Phantom not sending any pressure here, which is kind of surprising.
That is a nice punt.
That's a great kick.
Will not be returned, and the Rebels will down it right at the 8-yard line. So the Phantoms are going to have to earn this. 1:39, 92 yards to go. 2 timeouts left, I believe.
Yeah, I believe they've already used 1 this half. They should have 2 left.
Yeah.
With 1:39 left.
And a shaky offense. I don't want to say shaky offense, but today it's been stalling, if you will.
I mean, a couple of things that you do got to be leery of here in this situation. Like I said, you got to understand the history of the game that you're currently playing in. It's your quarterback hasn't had a success being able to drop back and get the ball downfield here, so you really want to be cautious of how much time you're giving them. No 5-step drops. Make everything 1-step, 3-step drops, possibly some screen game. Yep, 1 step and deliver. Great job.
Good pass, good play, getting some breathing room and some space down the field. I'm, keeping my eyes on Marco this drive.
A great catch. Yeah, this is Marco time. It's a great catch. I would like to see him get out of bounds there, but great catch. Way to get upfield.
So, as a defensive guy, man, what's going through your mind on the sidelines, just having to see your offense have to finish this game? Obviously, you want to help, but you're helpless.
Well, for the Phantoms defense, you're just hoping that they get it done, right?
132, man. They keep adding time.
And as a Rebels DC, what you're trying to do is try to kind of run a little bit of a cloud coverage. Keep everything inside. Don't let anyone get out of bounds. Nothing deep down the field, but keep everything on the green. Don't let them get to the sideline.
Looks right now, throws it over the middle. Good catch.
They got to hurry here.
Number 18. That is Mark DeVoyes.
This is just what I was talking about. They got to snap this ball. He's got to get the ball out of his hand quickly, make quick decisions, get downfield as quickly as possible.
Yeah, set it down. New set of downs as he
can't hold
downfield,
it too long.
And the ball is out. Dangerous, dangerous play as this might be Rebels' ball. The last time you can give up the ball is when you're trying to go down for a fourth quarter drive, end of the game drive, and lack of discipline and bad ball security there.
Again, you're in a situation where, like I said, the quarterback needed to be able to snap the ball 1 step, get it out. Anytime he's going to hold on to that football, you got to know the Rebels have been getting to him all game long. Just held on to that ball 1 second too long.
That's a lonely mindset, man. Nobody on the sidelines talking to him. It's frustrating. You got to be upset to not be able to hold on to the ball. I mean, as a Giants fan, I definitely know this way too well with Daniel Jones. Dude fumbles if you look at him too hard.
Oh, yeah.
And, unfortunately, Christian Sale, bigger quarterback, you would think his size would help him out, but defender just popped it out there, and now the Rebels are gifted.
Look for an inside zone run here or possibly hitches on the outside.
Handoff up the middle. So correct there as bring up a 2nd and long. And, I don't want to say I have undenying faith in the special teams, but I've yet to see a game-ending field goal here in the AZCFL. So I would love for something like that, last minute through the uprights, storm the field type deal, but I've yet to see that. So
we also yet to see special teams line block and step down the way they're supposed to as well. So
touche.
We don't even know if we have good kickers yet. We can't solve the problem up front, but 44 seconds left. It looks like a pretty likely conclusion.
Man, nobody they get the kickers, man. Nobody understands how hard it is to get the ball off the ground, let alone 40 yards into the upright, 11 dudes coming at you.
It's a tough job, which is why as a head coach or as a coach in general, we try not to put it in their hands. It's a tough job to be able to kick the ball. That field goal post looks wide, but it gets a lot narrower when the game's on the line.
Right. It's a little easier when it's a point after attempt.
Right.
Not as much pressure.
Right.
But
so 2nd and about looks like 7 here, 7.5. Again, let's try to get Renz out the pocket. If I'm a Rebels coach, I'm trying to get him out the pocket, trying to roll him out, get something towards the edge, something towards the sideline. Can't take a sack here, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think the Rebels have 2 timeouts, if not 3 left. So, and with that being said, the Phantoms call timeout.
Yeah, they had a cover 0 look there. They had man-to-man on the outside. They were going to pin back their ears and go. They were about to look like they were about to send 8.
So we don't disappoint. We told you this would be an action-packed game. May not be on the scoreboard, but coming down to the last minute, who cares what the score is, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's been sloppy here and there, but overall, some really good football.
Give us a full game, all full 60 minutes. Not much more we can ask for.
Again, tough time for the Rebels to come out here and take a sack. Definitely can't afford to take one here. Want to get the ball out of your hand quickly if you're Wrens. If you're a receiver, you want to be able to catch and get out of bounds. Or if it's a shot to the end zone, complete the catch, win the game.
Wonder if we'll see one of those, like, they get it close to the end zone and they don't want to score right away, or nah, they're punching it in if they are. And with that, another flag is thrown.
See, during that timeout, there should have been 2 play calls called. You want your first play call, and you want another play call as the clock's winding down. So at least 2 play calls called.
So 5-yard penalty, opposite way. What I need to know is, obviously, it's not that cold out here compared to, like, East Coast places and stuff like that when they play, December and November, closer to the playoffs. How does a coach not die of hypothermia when he gets a Gatorade bath
I don't
in
know,
the dead
man.
of winter, bro? I'm cutting all my players if you guys do that to me.
I don't know how to handle it. It's too cold.
As Renz looks left, he's backpedaling, throws it over the middle, nearly intercepted.
Mike again.
And incomplete. Mike got a hand on it, and it hit the ground. So good play by Mike. Couldn't come down with it.
Renz actually had something there. If he leaves that guy a little bit further downfield and to the left, a little bit further downfield and to the left, he might have something there, but it looks like the ball is just slightly underthrown.
So 3rd down now. 35 seconds left.
Now, in this 3rd and long situation with 35 seconds left, what I would do is I'm looking for a screen, a halfback screen, wide receiver screen, some sort of screen to pick up a bunch of yards, pick up at least 5 to 10 yards here, and give ourselves a shot at a field goal.
Yeah, definitely. And then I'm thinking of something quick to the sticks to get out of bounds, and if the yardage is not in your favor, the clock isn't either. So
Yep.
Renz now steps in the pocket, throws it over the middle.
It's a pick. He caught it.
And that's intercepted.
Oh, he intercepted. Good catch.
He took it away from the receiver, and he's got room to run, folks. And now he is out of bounds. I believe that is Jaden 24. So I told you he was going to come up with a big play towards the end of the game. Made that big play on special teams and did what he needed to do on defense. So
21 seconds. Phantom, I believe, have a couple of timeouts still, too. I believe those timeouts were called by the Rebels. They were trying to get something going, but the Phantoms got some time to make something shake.
Big boy play, man. That was, like you said, the receiver had his hands on it, and it was kind of like just big boy taking away schoolyard, this is my ball type thing.
Some plays come down to who wants it more. That was definitely one of them.
So now 21 seconds left. Definitely keep an eye out for Marco. Big play.
Yeah, if there's one-on-one out here, there'd be nowhere else I'm going with the ball. Yeah, you got a one-on-one look. You got one safety high. Take a shot.
Now quarterback looks right, throws it to
Great
AD.
play. Great play.
And he is brought down early. So 12 seconds left. This game might be going
Phantom
into
look
overtime.
content to go ahead and take it into OT here.
And with that being said, 7-7, we're going to be entering the 5th quarter, if you will. Overtime here, AZCFL Game of the Week. They will meet at midfield, do another coin toss, I imagine, and then whoever gets the ball, wants to get the possession first, I believe both sides will get a chance at the ball. And we'll see who finishes this game off. So some extra football here for the fans, those tuning in. We're going to overtime. I believe this is the first overtime game for AZCFL Game of the Week. We had an overtime game earlier today between the Thunder and Bucks. But, yeah, so some extra football here after dark.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
As we have to see some good kicks here in the warm-ups. My guy's booting it from about 35 yards out, 32 yards out. So
yeah, definitely got a leg on him. Just a matter if that snap can come on time and the blocking up front can be solid enough so he can have a chance.
yeah, and he can, phase out all the 11 guys trying to kill him.
Exactly.
Other than that, walk in the park,
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting overtime period for these guys. Neither one of them have to go any more than 20 yards, and b- both of these offenses have shown that they can move the ball, but they've shot themselves in the foot several times. So it's going to be an interesting overtime session here.
So Rebels to start with the ball. So you playing football, coaching football, being around football, what's it like prepping for an overtime game? You prep your body for 60 minutes. What's it like knowing, like, man, we're starting over?
So you prep your body for longer than 60 minutes.
I got you.
60 minutes is the goal to play, and you game plan so the game is over within regulation. But overtime games come down to just one simple thing: it's heart. That's all. That's all it is. It comes down to which team wants it more, and execution. Whichever team can find a way to execute when it matters the most, be the team that wins.
So the Rebels will start on the 20-yard line or 25. I think the 25. Yeah, 25. So it's like the football version of a shootout.
Yeah.
As the games can end in a tie, I believe, if both teams don't score in the regular season, at least. Not sure.
Yeah, the only thing I'm fuzzy about is how many overtimes they allow to happen. But from my understanding, what they do is if someone scores, they take away the field goal factor. And they make you go for two. So eventually, someone's not going to get it.
True. I guess the only sudden death would be if there was a pick six, right?
Yeah.
I guess that would be.
So if the Phantoms say here were to get a pick six right now, the game would be over.
Right. So now, this is definitely where they can't have any penalties. Pitch now. He's going to run it outside. Not effective. Snuffed out by the Phantoms D.
They've been quick off the edges all game, both teams. Just the outside linebacker play, defensive end play has been stellar for both sides.
Do you think this, obviously 4-down territory, or do you think they can have faith in a kicker? I mean, we've seen the kicker going around practice, but we haven't really seen them in action.
If I'm Rebels, I'm in 4-down territory the rest of the game. Same thing for Phantom. The snap and the hold are too unpredictable right now. A lot of grass on the wide side of the field here.
As Lorenz slips, but he's able to throw it off, and that hits the ground. So the receiver could have came back to it, kind of stayed home, and the ball was underthrown. So this will bring up a 4th down now.
Yeah, again, Ren's getting caught again on his back foot while being chased by a defender. Like I said, I would really like to see him get out of the pocket, a design rollout of some sort for him. Possibly give him a better chance at making a throw down the field.
So I believe this should be 4th. If not, they haven't changed it yet. Could be 3rd. I think he had the handoff, the pass. Okay, this is 3rd down.
Yeah, this is 3rd and long.
Renz came up a little hurt after that play. He was looking to the sideline. His ankle was tweaked a little bit, but he looks good.
Look for an inside seam here from the number 2 receiver. It should be wide open.
As the timeout's going to be
That's
called.
a good timeout.
You get 2 timeouts in overtime?
You get, I believe you get 2. That's a good timeout by the Phantoms. I don't believe they had the matchup they wanted. They had a receiver on a linebacker here on 3rd and long. Not a good recipe for success. Or I should say a linebacker on a receiver.
Yeah, it's always a mismatch.
Right.
It's like a center on a point guard in basketball.
Mm-hmm. And I look for the Rebels to not even change that look. I think they're going to come out with trips to the wide side again and try to give Renz a read. If they Phantoms, they just can't afford to come out with a 1 safety high look there against that trip set. Not with 3rd and long. Maybe go 2 high quarters. Play the sticks.
So we definitely seen Coach Love and the Rebels sideline taper down since the beginning antics and frustrations with the officiating and stuff like that. But
Yeah, now he just got to focus on his boys. They got third and long situation. He's got to figure out a way to get his boys in the end zone. Actually, they changed it up going with the 2x2. Look for Renz. Look to the wide side of the field, though. It hit the ground. Oh, they called it an interception.
Some confusion. The ref is down. Is he tying his shoe?
I think he may have hurt himself there. He grabbed the knee real quick to gather himself.
So, it's cold weather out here, and so the ball did hit the ground, so no interception, which could have not ended the game, but
ended the drive for
ended
sure.
the possession.
Mm-hmm. Fourth and long, a lot of these throws that Ren's been throwing has been going over towards the middle of the field. I would look for some sort of corner out here. Phantom look like they're going to show two safeties high, as they should, with fourth and long here. But I would try to get something here, maybe a corner route to the end zone.
Let's see now. Fourth down. Steps in the pocket. Looks left. Throws it. Complete. And a flag is down. Wonder what the call will be.
The only thing I could think of is possible offensive interference, or maybe he stepped out of bounds and came back in. But
can't be the first one to touch it.
It's hard to say where the flag is placed at. It's hard to say what he's called.
The refs are discussing it now. Mike Macagnano is a ref, so he likes to see what the refs are saying about it.
Yeah, usually when they talk long like this, it ends up getting waved off. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, because you don't want to give them an automatic first down.
Right. And then the question is, was he short of the first down on that catch, or was he right there at the line? I think he might have picked up the first down. Big call here.
Block on the back. So from the end of the run, replay fourth down, but it's not from the end of the run.
Yeah,
they're
but
replaying.
it'll still be fourth and short though. So what happened is that foul may have happened right at the first down marker where he may have had a first down, and it just brings him back. So it's going to be fourth and short.
Huh. So, what are you thinking? I'm thinking I'm putting my feet on the line. I'm not letting anything behind me. If they hand it off, I can collapse on them. But
defensively here, I'm setting pressure. I don't want to give Renz a chance to settle his feet and make a throw downfield. Continue to send pressure. Don't get out of character. You guys have been aggressive all night. Stay aggressive. Offensively, possibly put an extra blocker in there, maybe a split back set or something of that sort, where you can have an extra blocker to see if Renz can get the ball downfield to one of his receivers.
Or in a wild chain of events, he pooch punts it.
There's no sense in punt.
Plays mental games with them.
Either way, if they don't convert here, Phantom get the ball and a chance to score. So
yeah, definitely. Rebel, talking to Renz on Intel and seeing how he's evolved over years, he wants to be the big play guy, but he also wants to win. So, however they get it done. But if he's able to, punch it in the end zone, cherry on top. Oh, so the first field goal attempt of the night. So they heard us trying to bring this to fruition. So Renz on holding it.
They got to be careful here. If this is a block, they got to recover the block before this turns into 6 points the other way.
And Renz is, he's working his hammies out. Let's see if this is a fake or something. I don't know if he's going to pick it up and try and run with it, but let's see. if he's giving away maybe, or it could be a decoy. Who knows? We'll see. And with that, the
It's blocked.
kick is blocked. And the special teams capability tonight is not what we thought. So the Phantoms now have a chance to win this game by simply punching in the end zone or scoring a field goal.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough call for the OC in that situation, or for the head coach. It's a situation of you got a chance to put some type of points on the board. We're in an overtime situation. You want to put some pressure on the other team. You got to take a chance at getting points up.
And we saw the Phantoms kicker warming up in that intermission period. He was hitting comfortably outside 30, 40 yards, practicing. So let's see if
He's
he
over
can.
on the sideline right now, just laying into the ball. He's ready to go.
Number 19, the kicker.
Look for 3 runs here in a field goal attempt. Nope.
As there's AD, who's been trying to bust one all night, may have set them up for success at the most important time. So, it was just a matter of time before he let his presence known. And great run, grown man run, took the defender with him, and now they're in business.
Pick up of 10 is going to be a first down for him. Like, again, don't look for any passing attempts here. Look for these guys to run the football until they get forced to kick a field goal.
First down now. As with that.
If you're a Rebel, you got to load this box up and pin the ears back and go.
So a little excitement now by the Phantoms.
I would love to see the tally of penalties in this game. I would love to see if anyone's keeping track of that.
The penalty yardage?
Yeah, the penalty yardage.
They're going for MVP.
Got to be over 150 on the side. Got to be.
They averaging 80 yards a half,
Oh, yeah.
Good breakdown. There's another handoff, like you said, spot on with the calls, bringing up a second down.
Yeah, and if you are going to air the ball out here, it's going to be something short or a screen route of some sort. You're not going to want to air the ball up over the middle of the field or possible fade route. You got Marco out there on the edge, maybe a fade route if you see something you like, but I've been expecting that all half and haven't gotten it. So.
Yeah, we definitely saw in games throughout the first couple weeks was like big play towards a targeted receiver, but then it just doesn't come, and then left us questioning what is the play calling. But you stick to what's traditionally worked, and towards the stretch, down the stretch, Marco's usually the guy. There's another handoff for AD.
That's a face mask?
And he's wrestled down.
Russ may have missed a face mask on that one there. 3rd and long. So yeah, and even if there is a pass attempt here, it's going to be something short, something just to pick up a few yards, and then you've got a kicker over there that's been kicking 30, 40 yarders in warm-up. So
yeah, we don't know if his legs warmed up though.
Yeah.
It could be, like you said, practice is different than a live game. So
you got a coach over there working on some leg warmers right now. Outside zone.
Another handoff.
Outside zone, he's got some room.
And now he cuts it up inside. So 4th down now. Let's see if they bring him out. And he is coming out. Number 19. I wish he was on my roster sheet. Give him some love. But number 19 kicker for the Phantoms. He goes by number 19.
You got to make sure if you're up front right here for the Phantoms, you got to make sure you got everybody accounted for. Make sure there's no pressure coming up to A, B, or C gaps. Got to take care of the inside first.
These linemen are coming off cramping, man. They are hurting.
It's a long game.
That transition from the cleats to the slides is going to be legendary, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Those slides are going to feel so comfortable for these guys after this game.
Man. I had my feet in hockey skates all the time, so going to the slides was legendary. As the snap is good, the hold is good, the kick is up, and it got the leg. And it's off the off right. Off the off right, and it is no good. irony would be just that. No noise on special teams except when the ball hits the crossbar.
Wow.
And we are still landlocked at 7 in this overtime period. Wow. The leg was there. The distance was there. But some traffic by the left upright got in the way. And just that, man, as we're here entering, I guess, the second overtime period. And great attempt by number 19, but I don't want to say the wind got it because it's not that windy out here. But
yeah, it looked like he just hooked it just a little bit to the left. I mean,
man,
obviously the best kick we've seen all day.
Definitely, yeah, definitely, yeah. No, hate to make it a pass-fail system, but there's no good kick. So good try.
All right, but this overtime, the Phantom are going to start with the ball since the Rebels started with the ball last overtime. So their offense gets to go back out there and give it another shot.
Okay, for sure. I was a little thrown off, but yeah, it makes sense, I guess. Yeah, what's fair is fair. It's just kind of like the opposite, like reversing fields or something.
Right.
So it's like they got a first down, but they didn't. Type thing. It's weird. Quarterback looks left now. Now looks right, steps in the pocket, has a man. He has to shake that defender, and he can't. Good open field tackle.
He may have missed both the corner routes. I think both corner routes may have been open on that play, and he just didn't get his eyes downfield. Interesting play call there, though, by the Phantoms, though, not starting off with a run, but instead giving a different look there, coming in with a bit of a 2x2 tight set, and airing the ball out there. They had a chance.
And Isaac Jones Jr. is hurt right now. Can barely put any pressure on his foot. He's being carried off by his teammates. It's cold out here. These guys do stay hydrated, but it's a long football game, and unfortunately it's cold. Guys are cramping, mixed with some lingering injuries. Got to ice up, But it looks like he's getting stretched out.
Yeah, looks like a little cramp. He'll be all right. Again, I really like this formation here for the Phantom. They seem to be getting a little bit more success.
As the flag is thrown. Daryl Dobbins, false start. New Phantom, played his years with the Rebels.
That's my guy, Daryl, over there, man.
Great comeback story. He tore his ACL, was out with a knee injury for a year and a half, what it seemed like, and came back and picking up where he left off.
Also done a good job with his health, weight loss, and strength and conditioning, and getting right to prepare himself to play football.
As the handoff is not effective and brought down for a no gain, if not a loss. So 3rd and long now. Outside the kicker's range, I would say. So got to get this position up.
And you got one-on-one here with Marco. Look for the shot here at the bottom of the field.
Fake handoff throws now.
Good screen.
He's got some blockers in front. Not enough for a first down now. So 4th and goal.
Kicker gets another shot.
So he's back at his range.
Kicker gets another shot. If they do as good a job up front as they did last time, I think he just might make this one.
Is that like left upright now just in his face a little bit more? Is it kind of like when you have like a bite on your lip and you try not to bite it, but then you bite your lip twice as hard?
Yeah, and it's even worse now that the ball's in the left half.
Yeah, bro.
Might push it.
Can't overthink it, man. Just got to get...
You're over there practicing. Just do what you practice. That's blocked.
And that is blocked as you can return that, but it's going to come up short as the hold was good, but then the block was even better. So now the Rebels can win this game with a score. Thank you guys for tuning in. Extra football on the slate tonight as we're in the second overtime period. The Rebels now have the chance to win this game as the Phantoms had a extra field goal attempt blocked. And another flag's going to be thrown.
Not
So
a new quarterback? Yeah, it doesn't look like Ren's in there. It looks like they got like a wildcat situation going possibly.
Renz did look slightly hurt in that last drive. His ankle was tweaked a little bit, so I don't know if this is due to that or, like you're saying, maybe some trickery to throw off the defense. High snap.
Yep, wildcat.
Quarterback keeps it himself, tripped up. So
Not a bad idea by the Rebels coaching staff. They're just giving a little bit different of a look. Put an extra blocker in front of a runner. Give yourself a shot to spring a big run.
So Ren's still not out there, so weird time to have a new quarterback. But like you said, it's some wildcat as he bounces it outside. Now he's got room to run.
So
this
fast.
might be game.
Yep, there it is.
And the Rebels have ended the game in overtime as they meet in the end zone to party.
Yeah, not like I said, not a bad idea. That's a completely different look than they've been showing all game. And they get a speedster over there.
And the defenders broke down, and the quarterback called it himself and squeaked it in for 6, ending this game, this exciting overtime matchup. Arizona Cactus Football League Game of the Week. The South Phoenix Running Rebels turn it up, man, when it matters most, and that's in double overtime. They scored first, drive of the game, first quarter, then kind of was silent towards just now, and valiant effort by both teams as they meet at midfield for the ceremonial handshake. But got to give it to the Rebels, man. They 3-0 for a reason.
Yeah, what a ball game. What a ball game.
So,
good ending.
Thanks to everyone that came out, tuned in, was a part of this full day of football. We just ended with an amazing run. And the Rebels now are continuing their winning ways, 3-0. And now the Phantoms enter the loser bracket now, 1-2 on the season, as they want to get things corrected for the AZCFL Game of the Week. I'm Jesse Burke. He is J.R. Warner. Stay tuned for next week as we bring you Week 4 Game of the Week, AZCFL. But for tonight, we're signing off.